Got Trent in the cut.
What a you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB Show.
Yeah, we are in the building. It's Talk That Talk Tuesday. We got a loaded lineup on the table today. Steve Kim, of course, our own legend, joins us on his normal Tuesday, but we got NFL legend Pacman Jones and Major League Baseball family, heirloom, legendary family, the Boone, one of the Boone brothers and son, Brett Boone, joining us today to end the show. So we got a loaded lineup today. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not, because if you want to start calling these guests that we'll have every single day to speak to them like no other show does, you'll have to be a member for that. So make sure you member up today. We need to get to 1,000 members by tomorrow. So let's get this going, man. We got a loaded lineup, all brought to you by BetUS. So head on over to BetUS today. Use the promo code CoachJB and get you a 150% bonus up to your first deposit. No, Aaron Boone is actually Brett's brother. I love how motherfuckers only go with the cat that's actually hot right now. Who's popping, as y'all say? Aaron Boone's popping because he's the head coach for the Yankees, or the manager for the Yankees. Well, Brett Boone has been around a lot longer and had a great 15-year Major League Baseball fucking career. So you could say Aaron's his brother. So anyway, we're going to dive into that. But we got a loaded lineup, man. The Boone family, San Diego, California natives, by the way. But let's dive into it, man. We got a lot going on. Like I said, the NFL QB carousel has become a money grab by the players and an endorsement by the organizations. The teams have hoped in one hand and basically crapped in the other one, hoping that the quarterback they paid enormous amounts of money to pans out. It is the worst business model that I've ever seen in a professional sport. The QB is as mediocre as it's ever been. But what do I know? Yet we continue to pay average to below average guys hundreds of millions of dollars. The NFL is littered with overpaid under-deliverers, and apparently nobody sees it but me. When has the QB market ever been this bad? I'm just asking a real question. We have a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers being salivated over between two teams, maybe three teams, if the Vikings get involved. The Seahawks paid Sam Darnold, who just completed a great season. I'm a huge fan of the kid. But let's be honest, it was his first one of his career. And the New York Jets truly think Justin Fields is a franchise quarterback. We got a 38-year-old Russell Wilson and Daniel Jones, who's an overpaid under-delivered basically his whole career ever since joining the league. And we are acting as if this is the golden era of QB play, as your boy Ryan Clark eloquently said. The NFL is in a bad spot quarterback-wise. And this year's draft is even making the already bad product even worse. As more enabled, overhyped QBs enter an NFL locker room this coming April, expecting more and more, yet willing to give less and less. But what do I know? Let's dive into the main man, my main co-host extraordinaire, Naptown legend, Far East Sider, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, AR5 jocking, and Fox Sports' very own, Caitlyn Clark swinging, Big Smitty. Camera's horrible. I don't like energy.
He said Caitlyn Clark swinging. What's going on, y'all, man? It's Talk That Talk Tuesday, man. I'm your boy, Big Smitty. I got my homie Jason Brown and Young Bailey in the background, and we wouldn't be us. We wouldn't be us without you. So shout out to Daniel Caps, Josh Fele. We got Tommy Durden, D. Jones, all the way from Jacksonville. We got Vincent Kennard, the OG, G. Wizzy, Ross Morrison, Danny Sanchez, Boston Richie, and Blake Borg. We in the building right now, Jason. What's going on, homie?
Like who?
Borg. Like Cyborg. Little boy.
You know him?
Yeah, we go back. I don't know.
D. Jones, you got to fucking start using the shit you say, dog. It ain't hating if it's true. You got to start living by that because you sound like total opposite. Everything you say, D. Jones, every day, every morning. Sometimes you agree, but sometimes you just say shit just to say it. Smitty, we got a loaded lineup today, man. Pacman Jones. You never know what you're going to get from him, right? You never know what you're going to get from him. My boy, though, man, we go back and forth all the time, fucking with each other. He comments on my Instagram post, talking shit. I go back at him. It is what it is. Good dude, though. We see eye to eye on a lot of shit. He's an old school player mentality. And then we got an old school player mentality, someone that's my age, cut from my cloth, and Brett Boone. Smitty, you're too young, but his daddy was a legend. And
right his granddaddy was, too. He a third generation. You didn't even know that.
Yeah, his whole family, yeah. I grew up watching his dad, though, right here in California with the Angels. When the Angels, Mike Scioscia, the Angels had a good run going, and they had a lot of good players, and then they just couldn't get over the hump, beating Boston. The Wade Boggs led Boston Red Sox at that time, so it was interesting to watch the Angels choke. But we're gonna ask them about it because I'm a Dodger fan. But anyway. It's a loaded lineup. Steve Kim, our legendary Steve Kim, Korean Carousel, joins us as well. So lots to discuss, man. It should be an interesting one today. All powered by BetUS. So make sure you head on over there and use the promo code CoachJB. Smitty, contrary to belief, and quote of the day will be epic today. And then we'll do our poll question. And then in about 20 minutes, hopefully, a Pacman's on right out the gate this morning. So we'll get into it, give you guys some banter. Some back and forth. Make sure you pound that like, subscribe, and become a member. Like I said, we need new members because we will have a different special guest on every single day going forward for the most part. Plus our normal average, not average, our normal great normal. I meant normal guests such as Matt, Shaun, and Steve Kim. So make sure you pound that like, subscribe. and become a member, you can talk to these guys as part of our membership package if you start membering up right now, especially all the OGs that have already been members. A lot of T-shirts have gone out this past week and a half, so a lot of you guys will be getting your T-shirts. Shout out to Lucy and a few of you other guys out there who have bought Make Girls Sports Great Again and Protect Girls Sports. The T-shirts we got, Save Girls Sports, we made on CoachJBStore.com. You can go head on over there, and I got all kind of different Protect the Girls themes going on. But Save the Girls hoodies, Save the Girls Sports T-shirts and beanies, they're all out there. Lucy got her first one already. Shout out to her for ordering one on CoachJBStore.com. Quote of the day, Smitty. You can dream about success or wake your ass up and make it happen. Real simple, cut, dry. We gotta get on a heater today, Smitty. We gotta get on a heater. I didn't have my 5-hour energy yesterday. I got one today. I'm not super loaded today. Ready to go. But you can dream about success or you can wake your ass up and make it happen. I used to hear about that shit. Smitty, we always heard, all I could do is dream. Fuck that. Dream is for fucking wishing this hand and shitting this one. See what fills up first, Smitty. Go make it happen.
I like that. I like that, homie. You know what I mean? Because you can sit around and talk and think about what if I should have did that, or you just go do it. You know what I'm saying? The dream is the foundation. You know, that's where it starts maybe, but the action has to follow up. So I love that right there. That's probably top 32. I like that a lot.
Really?
Yep.
32.
Yep.
Don't agree with that, but we'll get there. Contrary to belief, Smitty, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there for your DFS picks. Go get you one today. Use the promo code CoachJB. Smitty, this one's going to be interesting. Hopefully you all out there are listening. Mm-hmm. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. Contrary to belief.
That's where the ones, homie.
Let me say it again for people, TikTok and everybody out there and all the Asians and Wang Yong Yong. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
Top 10 alert. Top 10 alert. Top 10 alert. That's hard. Your contrary to beliefs have been better than your quote of the days lately. That's hard. You can't change the people around you.
Keep thinking it.
But you can change the people around you. Because you think about it, like, I can't change what they do, who they are, how they think, but I can move them out of my life. You can't change them. You can.
I can't change Smitty up here, but I can get rid. I can bring the upside down Coke bottle back.
That's a
hard.
It'll be horrible. It'll be horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I can change it though. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
And change ain't always for the better. So
yeah.
As that example you use. So
that's a great example I use. Poll question, Smitty. Mm-hmm. Brought to you by Skybox Sports. Head on over to Skybox Sports. The ticker behind me, you see.
Everybody got one there. Everybody copy.
Man, you see that shit, but nobody gives us credit yet. I'm getting. Listen, we agree with compliment, blah blah. I'm starting. Shit's starting to irk me a little bit though, homie, on the inside. Nobody giving us credit. I seen this motherfucking ticker on all kind of shows now all of a sudden, and I know it's there because they hit me up like, "Hey, code man." I'm like, nah.
Right, 10%, 20%,
5%.
Finder's fee, homie. It's crazy.
BPS though. We're talking about that's BPS all the way right there. But it is what it is. Poll question, Smitty. Let's get right into it. Where's the best landing spot for Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson?
Well, I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers first, man. I told you guys yesterday, man. Aaron Rodgers, the best landing spot is now the Minnesota Vikings. Now that Sam Darnold is officially not a Viking, and he's with the Bailey Seattle Seahawks. The Vikings job, to me, makes perfect sense. They won 14 games last season. You got a superstar wide receiver, arguably the number one receiver in the league. You got another wide receiver, too, in Addison, who's young, very talented, and continues to kind of work his way up the ranks. You got a star running back who I believe they re-signed or extended maybe in Aaron Jones, if I'm not mistaken. Had a career year last year. You got an offensive-minded coach in O'Connell, solid defense. I think they just signed somebody as of this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Who they signed this morning? Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen
They
just
took
signed
a D tackle. Your boy D tackle, yeah.
$60 million, big time deal right there. So they continue to get better on all fronts. So to me, if Aaron Rodgers wants to end his career with some sort of positivity, some sort of chance to just compete and possibly go on a Super Bowl run, this to me is the only answer. It's not like I don't think there's any other answer. I don't see why go anywhere else. To me, this is the answer. And then the second question you said was for Russell Wilson. Best opportunity for him now that Geno is with the Raiders. Now that obviously, he wouldn't go back to Seattle, of course, but that job's off the table. To me, it's either stay put with Pittsburgh. You got DK Metcalf there now. Still got George Pickens. You had a solid year last year. So to me, you know what? I'm just gonna stand on business. I say stay with Pittsburgh. That's the best opportunity for Russell Wilson. I mean, he's already got a little bit of rhythm, and it's hard to just switch teams from year to year to year, learn a new system, learn your receivers. I think he needs to just stay put, and just assume that year two will be better because you're just more comfortable within that system. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't know if he can afford to follow Brett Favre's footsteps. I really don't. I said it yesterday on Shaun Salisbury's show. I said it on Shaun Salisbury's show. I said it on my show last couple weeks ago with Bailey. I don't believe you could follow the exact same footsteps, Smitty. I just think it hurts your legacy. You already struggle with getting Super Bowl rings where we argue if you'd have beat the Niners a few times or Tom Brady on the red zone on the goal line, Tampa Bay, Tom don't get that last one and you get a second or third one. Now we're talking Aaron Rodgers in the GOAT conversation. Now he's not even a thought, right? We're talking about Matthew Stafford possibly being better than Aaron Rodgers if he gets another ring. We've already said that Mahomes has passed him by. Like this is the thing. Like you're gonna follow Brett Favre's exact footsteps now, though. I don't think it helps your legacy at all. It actually hurts it. I think he needs to go somewhere and win one elsewhere, like Tom did, and somewhere like maybe. I don't know. Pittsburgh screams the best fit because Tomlin has the alpha personality to control him, demand from him, and I think it's a restart. Now that Devontae Adams has kind of said, all right, I'm going to go do my thing, and we're not carrying around all the homies' fucking luggage, I think Aaron Rodgers now needs to go and say, all right, let me finish my last year or maybe two if he has two. I think this year would be his comeback reunion year, like a Tom Brady in Tampa. I think he'll have his better year. It's clearly better than last year, and he ended the season last year on a high note. He had 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. I mean, he was top 10 in a lot of statistics. He played winning football at the end of the season last year. I'm gonna be honest. From the quarterback position, their roster was just riddled with injury. I don't think Minnesota's it, even though I agree with you. They're the most talented roster. But is it a legacy fit for him? I don't know. I don't know. But I think Pittsburgh is. The Giants definitely aren't. Giants aren't, Smitty. We know that.
We can agree to that. Yep.
They're not ready to win. And do you want to deal with the New York media just across the street? You want to just move across the street? Here's the rumors that I've heard. And Shaun has a lot of insight because Shaun knows a lot of these guys, such as Phil Simms, who was on his show, who we're going to get on our show, and other guys in that market. He just upgraded his home in New York. He just put a lot of money into his home in New York. Does that say he's going to stay in New York? They play on the same field, Smitty. He got hurt on that field.
He did get hurt on that field. You don't like that field.
I don't know if I'm Aaron Rodgers, do I want to stay in New York? That's just me. But I'm not Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know what's going on with him. Obviously, they said a deal could have been done with the Pittsburgh Steelers this morning, but it's for whatever reason, it's not done. And that seems to yell at me either A, Minnesota's involved, which is a third team rumor, or he's really mulling over the Giants and staying there. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man.
If he stays with the Giants, he just don't he don't care about winning at all. He's just trying to just have fun and make a little extra money and cut out. Honestly, that has to be what it is. And just be.
I don't think he can make any more money. He's the highest paid player of all time.
I'm just saying, like, to get another check and just have fun.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You want to win, it's really two options. It's the Steelers and the Vikings. If you want to have a chance to win. And I like the Vikings better because they have an offensive-minded coach, where the Steelers, I don't know. I just don't know. I love Tomlin. Yeah. I know the team's going to be good. I know the defense is going to play good. I know they're going to be in position to win. I just don't know if it's the best system for Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? That's my only struggle. And I can see Aaron Rodgers just, I don't know. I feel like some issues could just.
Yeah, Smitty, we said yesterday on Shaun's show yesterday on Unpaved on Rumble. You can catch every day at noon Pacific. We said, why would you just not give it up? If you're not going to go to a winner, just give it up. You're done. You've had a good. I mean, you're still a 1%er. You're probably top 2 ball spinners of all time. You won a ring. You got a ring. You're a 1%er in life. It is what it is, right? I mean, you fucking hosted Jeopardy. You've had model broads. You've done it all. I mean, there's not much more you can do.
Oscar, you've been high. You dark place. You've done everything.
Yeah. So it is what it is. And now we're gonna transition to the best deep ball thrower in the NFL. We gotta stop doing that shit. It's like Jameis Winston's whole gimmick, dog. Stop. Shaun King, we love you dearly, but your takes on Jameis Winston just give me cringe vibes every single day on the show. I mean. Jameis Winston's being rumored as a backup on like 27 teams, and Shaun thinks he could be the starter on fucking the Steelers. But anyway, shout out to Kai Canetti and all them other motherfuckers too. There's a video we put together. It's funny as shit. I didn't put it out though because some guests we have on. Here's the thing, Smitty. Here's a rumor I'm hearing. This is what we got yesterday live during the show we were doing with Shaun. We got a text message from a very inside guy, and we think that Tennessee Titans it's a done deal for Russell Wilson. That's just what we're hearing. If that happens, now they got the number 1 pick. Do they take a Travis Hunter? Do they take an Abdul Carter? Do they get a 1-year fix? Make Will Levis learn from Russell Wilson? Bailey's team. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm hearing that's the rumor. The Colts are even involved, not only with him but Daniel Jones, and there's a few other guys too. Remember, there's other guys out here that we're not going to discuss, and that's kind of proving my whole point on the QB landscape, Smitty, that I've been on for the last 5 years, sitting on the hill yelling at everybody or whatever you guys say, cloud at the porch, yelling at the clouds. We're sitting out here talking about Marcus Mariota's available. Carson Wentz is available. Right. The Cleveland Browns. What did the Cleveland Browns do yesterday, Smitty?
They picked up. Who they pick up, homie?
Small hands Pickett.
Yep, Kenny Pickett and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, UCLA.
Have you not really just?
I ain't traded.
Can you listen to what you're saying and hear what you're saying and understand? That you're proving my point on QB.
Every quarterback wasn't good in 2000 either, though.
Just say JB been right. Just say it.
Right. You got this weird nostalgia when you were young that every quarterback was good back in the days. Everybody was good. They were not all good, homie. There was some bad things back in the day.
The 32 starters were.
Can we sit down together for real? Can we do like a special get the show like one weekend? I'm going to come over your house. You're going to get tacos, wings, pizza, chips. We're going to just watch a whole bunch of old games of every team in like a certain year, because I want to like show you, like I've been looking up numbers. So all these QBs were not good, homie. I'm sorry, they just were not all good. You're not gonna tell me all 32 was good. They're not.
The game has been changed so dramatically that first of all, I can sit there and watch old YouTube videos with you all day and scream in your face till you're blue, but you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna listen. You're not gonna watch it. You're gonna say he's horrible. Blah blah blah. You don't understand that the game is totally different because of the rules. First of all, you're going to see quarterbacks get absolutely fucking chin-shotted and throw a football on a dig route on time, and you're going to be like, oh, it's a wobble ball. You're going to have some excuse, but then we're going to watch Patrick Mahomes sit in the pocket and be able to fucking, no, don't hit me, and you're going to think he's the GOAT. The game has changed, homie. Your mindset's going to be changed. You're too young to understand it. I'm going to be honest.
Brady's the GOAT.
The game is different, and the game has been ruined. And the quarterback position, we expect more. We expect more from them, but demand less from them. I don't get it. But Smitty, we got our main man, special guest, NFL legend extraordinaire, man. His show's going viral right now. He's on every single day. Go check him out on his podcast and his show. Our main man, 12-year NFL vet, Bengal legend, 421 solo tackles, Smitty, 87 assists, and he's had 3 sacks with 12 scoops, fumble recoveries, and 17 picks.
Did it all.
And he's a punt return legend, Smitty. And he also selected to play in a Pro Bowl. Our main man, Pacman Jones. Adam Pacman Jones, welcome him in. Pac,
what's up? What up, Coach? What's up, JB? What's up, Smith? What's going on, baby?
Smell me.
Smell me. Just got through smoking one, too.
I ain't seen Pac since like Super Bowl, like Arizona or something. It's been a minute. How you doing?
Yeah, I ain't get to bump into y'all this year, man. I'm doing good, man. Everything is pim. Fast motion.
Smitty, you smoke one with him?
Nah, I ain't smoke one with him. I ain't a big smoker, but he ain't even offer though. He ain't even offer if I wanted to go that route. So it's all.
Well, Smitty, we wasn't talking about smoking in Arizona. I think we was
at Radio Row
at that time.
You was talking about your fashion.
But I'm always willing to smoke with anybody. Like if you like smoking weed, I am your guy.
That's good to know. I'll take a note, Pat.
Same way like Coach like cooking them ribs. I'm watching you cooking ribs and drinking bourbon. I mean, Grey Goose over there.
Hey, you gotta come through one day. When you out here in Cali, you gotta come through. I'm gonna cook it up for you. Hey, I gotta ask you right into brass tacks. You play for an organization with my boy Kevin Case, Shaun. You know, you have Carson Palmer. You have the legendary guys like that. Let me ask you: Has Joe Burrow already surpassed Carson Palmer as the best ever?
Yes, of course.
Really?
You asked that easy though. You didn't even think about that.
That's not even a question. Like, how many playoff games Carson Palmer's won? How many championships Carson Palmer been to? How many Super Bowls Carson Palmer's been to?
Yeah.
Like that ain't even the question.
Did he go to Arizona? Did he take Arizona Super Bowl?
We talking about Cincinnati though. You talking about with the
I'm talking about Cincinnati.
I'm just thinking, yeah. Man, did Burrow break his record? Has Burrow broke his, like, I don't know, but he might have broke his yards record by now. I don't know. Carson was a man, though. I like Carson.
At the age that Carson was with Burrow Burrow ahead of him by a lot of yards. I think it was like over 3,000 and some yards.
Yeah.
No doubt. Before Smitty gets to it, man, I got to ask you, you know, the NFL sack leader over the last 2 years, Trey Hendrickson, permission to seek a trade. Still ain't paid Jamar. Still ain't paid Higgins. He's still on his rookie deal. What direction is this team going in? Your former team, I know you have so much love for. What direction they guys going in?
I don't fucking know, bro. This shit is crazy. I don't fucking know. Duke told me to get his ass up there, and Duke is my boy. Nothing against Duke. But Duke, you said that he was going to be the highest fucking paid non-quarterback. Duke said that. Nobody else said that shit. I haven't heard Chase come out and say that. No coordinator, not Mr. Brown.
Nobody,
Not nobody have said that except Duke. So guess what? You know, put your ass in somewhere where you got to cash in. Especially with Mal Guerin getting this big ass contract that he just got.
40 M's.
40 M's. So we could have been talking about 36, 37, or 39. Now we're talking about 40 to 44 to 45.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck direction we in, bro. Like, and we keep signing motherfuckers that really doesn't matter. That you can go and get somebody else for in free agency, probably for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But we need pass rush. I'm hopefully, with the first round pick, we probably gonna go safety. I would think they will go safety, unless it's just somebody there at the D line. That's just unbelievable that they can't pass on. But as far as where the Bengals going, I'm just as clueless as you, bro. I'm like, what the fuck?
Let me ask you this, Pat, because, like, you know, I see TJ Hooch all the time at Fox and talking to him about different stuff and just, you know, learning more about the history of the Bengals. And I know that that's your squad, you love them, but let's be real also. Have the Bengals always kind of moved as like a cheap organization in terms of just paying players, or just like when you look back during your playing days, did they have a history of delaying paying guys and playing games, or did they actually pay guys when they earned the money?
They have a history of playing games.
Yeah,
like, and sometimes you be like, God damn, they draft him too. Like when we had AJ, Sanu, Hawk, and Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
You draft all 4 of those guys, and like you telling me you don't keep at least 2 of them?
That's crazy.
Hey, shout out to Marvin, one of my former kids right here, SoCal native, Cal Berkeley. Let me ask you something, Pac. You just mentioned that shit. You had Rudy Johnson. Was Rudy with you then? Nah, he before you, huh? I think Pac lost service. He got a call.
Called him or something.
Yeah. Was Rudy Johnson there then?
I don't know. What year did Pac actually get there? Was it 08? I have to go back and look and see. Like, what year did he get with the Bengals?
I'm not sure. He played what? What did he play? 11, 12 years? Here he goes. He back.
He was 20.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, was Rudy Johnson before you?
Yeah, he was. He was before me.
Hey, so
Cedric Benson era.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. Hey, so another legend, a Bengal legend, Willie Anderson. I've known for a long, long time. He came on Friday. He loved you. He came on Friday, and he brought up a point, and I wanted to bring it up with you. He's like, a lot of cats out here talking shit about the ownership group and the Bengals being cheap and all this old shit. He's like, but look, I got 3 contracts with the Bengals. Rudy Johnson got paid. Carson Palmer was $100 million motherfucker, one of the first one. We can go around the league and nitpick every probably ownership group and say not everybody's going to get paid. They have paid guys in the past, to Willie's point. You agree with him on that, or are they traditionally cheap?
I agree with him on that, but like it need to be orderly fashion right now. Like shit is going on. Everybody's getting better. Fucking DK Metcalf goes to Pittsburgh. Like everybody's getting better. Myles Garrett signed a big ass contract. They only need a quarterback. They got a good ass defense over there.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh needed another guy that can stretch the field. Even though I think those 2 guys are more alike.
Oil and water. Yeah.
But like, you still don't know who's gonna be the quarterback over there. We are assuming Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Assumingly.
Yeah. But we don't know. We still don't know yet. Yeah. But I feel you though.
Yeah, I ain't gonna ask you about Cleveland. I know, fuck all that. I don't even want to ask you about them, but they got. Yeah, you're right. They got to get a QB over there, and they just got small hands Pickett. I'm confused if that's gonna be their guy for another year while Deshaun's out for the year. Cleveland's got to say, "Oh shit, we're not ready to contend yet." That's just my gut, but I don't know.
Kenny Pickett ain't a 1, is he? Hell no. Kenny Pickett.
As of right now, today,
until they fucking draft Shador.
Let me ask you that. Okay, I'm glad we right there.
Yeah.
So you saying Shador? So right now, it's been so many movements and players and the OGs moving around. Geno went to the Raiders. That was a big move. So out of the top 10 teams right now, I think the only 3 teams that we would assume would even get a quarterback are the Titans, the Giants, and then Cleveland, the Browns. That's the top 3 picks right now. So do you think Cam Ward and Shador is going to fall in that top 3 still?
I think Cam Ward and Shador go 1 and 2. Tennessee Titans got to take a quarterback, bro. Come on, bro. Like, how much time are we giving Willis? Like, are we serious right now? Like,
let me ask you,
it's a poop in a pamper, bro. That smell like shit, and everybody knows shit when they see it. Like, there's no way you can hide shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, but you've been in these rooms, Pac, as a player. I got to ask you and now you've been around management groups and shit. I got to ask you, as the GMs move, though, can I, as an organization, draft another QB at 1 or early in the first round and then get rid of another Malik Willis? Got rid of him for a Chico stick and string team. Now we got
San Francisco did the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. But so
the
you're
Jets
saying
did the same thing. It's a lot of teams that done did that.
Do it. You're saying fuck
it.
A
lot of teams done did that. And I don't even know. Is this the same? Is this the same GM?
Nah, remember they got rid of him.
I think they got a new GM, don't they? They got a new GM. This ain't my fucking guy. Get him the fuck out of here. You know how that conversation goes. Let me get my guy.
But here's my thing, too. This is an organization who thought they was going to get better by getting rid of Mike Vrabel. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, to me, that shit just screams that you're going to draft fucked up again. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious. Over the last 2 years evaluating, you do your show, Politely Raw. Make sure you go head on over and watch Pac on there. I got to ask you, like, in this quarterback class of things, as a guy who's had 17 plus picks in the league, who's picked these guys off his whole career, is this draft, as I say, as bad as I've seen in the quarterback position? You think it's the same as I do? You think the same? I think it's the worst draft class I've seen in a while at quarterback. Sean King is, I think so. Sean Salisbury, all former quarterbacks think the same. You think you higher on this QB draft than I am, or you think it is what it is? We know it's a heavy O-line, D-line, pass rusher, running back class.
Definitely D-line, running back. Definitely D-line, running back. I think.
Why now QB is kind of as bad as they've been in a while.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you there. I think this year the deepest group is the running backs. Like, all those guys have performed top notch, and they ran fucking good.
Yeah.
They all perform good. Quarterback, these system quarterbacks sometimes, and don't have the strength in the arm to make sure, like, all right, it could be late every now and then, but when the motherfucker need to be on time, it need to be on time. You understand that, JB? It's like you on the opposite hash and you got to come back on the far hash. If that ball is late, that's a pick six. Yeah. And I think a lot of these quarterbacks in this draft, besides the two that we were talking about, just don't have the rocket of a arm. Are they good thinkers? Are they good players? Yes, they are. Would they be? It's gonna be some good backups, but like, it's always one.
Yeah, surprise you.
That surprise you. It's always one.
No doubt. So where? So you're saying take a Q over a generational talent like Travis Hunter?
Ain't no team in the NFL good without a good quarterback.
No, I hear you. I don't know if there's a QB in the draft. Like, I see Abdul Carter being a game changer. I see, like, some of these pass rushers being game changers, and I know it's a heavy pass rush class. I just don't know. Let me ask you this then, just circle back. If you're an organization, though, like, let's say Cleveland, the hated ones, and all these other teams.
Quarterback.
Do you go with a veteran, though?
Quarterback. No.
So you
get you somebody. You got Myles Garrett sold up. Get you a young quarterback that your offensive coordinator think that he can trust, or whoever he like, if he's there.
Right.
Now, if he ain't there.
If Cam's at 2, you're saying let's take Cam Ward and we'll worry about Deshaun Watson's contract later?
Well, it ain't nothing to worry about. Like, he should guarantee there ain't too much you can do to that fucking contract.
Yeah, and they renegotiated.
So you just got to pay him to be on the team, be a good teammate, which I'm thinking he will have no problem with doing with right now.
He don't mind at all. With his leg
up. Smitty, Pat collaborated with our IG post. He went viral the other day saying he basically got faked the fuck.
Let's talk about that, Pacman. So you talking about you never use your own piss doing a drug test. You're done playing now, so you can keep it real.
No, I'm talking about, like, not steroid tests. I'm talking about, like, when they test you for street drugs.
For weak street, exactly. For street
drugs. Yeah, so it's
let's be clear. We all from the hood. Was it Golden Seal or the charcoal? What the fuck was cracking?
Break it down.
No, bro, I had the cups. I had found out, like, damn, they leaving 2 things. They was like, when they going to take somebody to the bathroom, they leave the whole thing there with the cups and shit. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Shit, it's at camp time. I know they testing everybody, you know what I mean? Boom, let him go in there. And I might be telling some, hey, go ahead and take him in there. I go and get me 2 cups and a sticker. So, like, by the time he done did all that shit, you can watch me piss. But, like, on the way back, this motherfucker is getting changed.
At some point between bathroom in the line, this cup is being shifted out. Okay.
Yes, either when I sit down, because you already think you see me piss in it, you don't put the label on it, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Now the game may begin.
Hey, Pac, I might have a colder story. I might have the most, what's the word?
Legendary?
Fuck. Nah, like, I don't know what the word is. Like, dishonorable? I don't know what it would be. I'm the head coach.
Shit.
And I got motherfuckers like Jermaine Johnson, first rounders, and I'm piss testing them out of a morale, like teaching the team, motherfuckers, don't be smoking weed, motherfucker.
You dirty dog.
I changed the piss.
As the coach.
Hell, motherfucker, yeah. You heard it here first, motherfuckers. Yeah, I changed the piss. I had my coach say, give me that piss, motherfucker. And I put the piss. He cleared, motherfucker. Shit. Motherfucker act like I'm boo-boo the fool. You think I'm stupid? I'm like, I'm first rounder over here.
I will say this. I never got tested in college, though. Like, maybe one time.
Yeah. You on the Mount Rushmore? You on the Mount Rushmore, in your opinion?
Yeah.
At West Virginia? You, Pat White?
Why you stop right there?
Is that it? Oh, no, come on.
Right.
You bet why he didn't say nothing other than that.
I don't know, man. There's been some legends. Shit, I grew up watching West Virginia. They were so good back in the day. Major Harris.
Major Harris, some guys out there.
Tavon Austin was unbelievable in college. I don't know.
Slayton was unbelievable in college. Grant Wiley was unbelievable in college.
Yeah, you on that Mount Rushmore?
I better be, huh?
Hey, I think so. I think you are. Actually, we were just talking about that last night when we said we had you on.
They ain't fucking put me up there yet.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta figure something out.
Highest defensive player pick from there. They have no other defensive player that's played at West Virginia that was all pro or Pro Bowl. Like, damn, can I get a little respect?
Right.
Just a little.
Speaking of Mount Rushmore, let me ask you this about on the flip side. You know, I grew up watching you be one of the top returners of the game as well. Where do you rank yourself when it comes to the return game? Are you in the conversation of top 10? Like how do you view yourself when it comes to returners?
I'm saying, like, if you turn on the field, like film, like I've led the league in punt return yards every damn near I done played, like been in the top 2 or 3 or 4. Hester, I would give it to Hester first because he had more touchdowns than me.
Right.
Dante Hall was a good returner.
Yep.
And then it goes to me. Shit, like everybody keep talking about the kid from Cleveland, bro. He wasn't like that good of a returner. Like
was the guy, not John.
What's his name?
Cribs. Is it Cribs?
Cribs. Yeah. I'm saying he was cool, but like we never like he was straight line fast. It wasn't like he can create or draw a picture, like cut off the field and go cut him off. Like, but to some people, I guess he was really good.
In your eyes, you the third best returner of all time in your eyes.
I'm saying of my era that I played.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, what speaking of returns, real quick, I appreciate you joining us. Politely Raw, go check it out on all platforms. Pacman Jones. Let me ask you, Pac, what do you think about this current NFL kickoff rule and all this shit they've done with the rules, man?
Man, these fucking people, they don't know what they want to do, JB. Of course, we all want more returns. Like, who want to see the fucking ball getting kicked out of the stadium for the whole fucking game? But I like backing the kicker up. That means, like, a lot of them still going to go the fuck out of there. We only backing them up 5 yards. They kicking the ball damn near in the stands. But I do think this will help the return game and guys get more chances to return.
Okay. I know
what you think about these fucking helmet condoms?
I don't like that shit at all, bro. Like, that shit ain't saving nobody. It ain't helping nobody. It looks horrible, first of all. And like, if you're gonna get a fucking concussion, you're gonna get one anyway.
That shit make it worse. We had that guy that invented this shit on my show. I know
you don't even know what the fuck he invented, bro. That is a fucking
he didn't. You know what he told us? He goes, JB, this ain't for the NFL. This is for fucking 7-on-7 for the kids so they don't bang their shit on shoulder. It was actually to protect shoulders in 7-on-7. You know how 7-on, so you don't hit your shit. That's what it was for. He's like, it wasn't for this. He goes, I took the money, of course, but it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
He's like, and we got a doctor on our show every Tuesday, and he was like, JB, the concussions are up wearing them. Come on, man.
Making it worse, Pat.
That shit crazy. But you know how that shit is. They want the people out there to think that they're protecting concussions because they don't want to get sued. At the end of the day, bro, that shit gonna happen with that shit on your head or without of it. They still got the fucking push tush. If you want to fucking protect the concussion, take that shit out of the game.
Thank you.
What are you talking about, bro? Like,
I'm with you.
This
I'm an
shit
offensive guy, and I said I'm with you.
it's
I'm with
crazy.
you. That shit crazy.
It's crazy.
No, we stopped pushing the D lineman. Aiding and abetting was the rule. I said it on my show. We can't push the D lineman forward on PAT kickoff or on punt return. None of that shit. But we can do the same thing on offense. To me, and I'm an offensive guy, is bullshit.
Same way you can't hit the fucking center on the long snap. You can't pull his ass for it. But like, I don't get it. Like, it's
I don't get
crazy.
it either.
It's crazy.
I don't get it either. Let me ask you something real quick. Pax, a couple years ago on Club Shay Shay, you said the Steelers were the dirtiest team in the NFL.
Fuck the Steelers.
Who was the dirtiest player on the Steelers?
Damn, it depends on which year.
Every year was
what was the center they had? He was pretty dirty. Fuck, I can't think his name.
the Twins.
Not Pouncey.
Oh,
Not Pouncey. Pouncey, it wasn't Pouncey.
I'm trying to think. Who's still
Right before Pouncey.
So not Harrison, not any of them.
Nah, James Harrison, like, and James Harrison fucking teddy bear up under there, bro. Like, you got to get. I had a chance to play with him too in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Now, when he do put on that quick man, like, he mean fucking games. I mean, like, he damn near killed me. I muffed a punt when I was in fucking Dallas. Bro, he hit me on the top of my head. I was paralyzed for like 10 minutes.
Damn.
Right.
Like, that was the reason why I really left Dallas. Didn't nobody know that, bro. Like, I had to have fucking surgery. So I sat out a year. I'm like, fuck, my hand don't stop tingling. And that's that fucking January. After I left Dallas, I sat out the whole year. And really, I sat out because I was hurt. People like, damn, he ain't gonna never play again. Like, bitch, I was just paralyzed. I'm trying to make sure my fucking neck all right before I go back out. You fucking idiots. So anyway, make a long story short, I was like, got my strength back. I was feeling good, one tingling. Signed with the Bengals. Boom. Play the first 5 games, balling. Go to Atlanta, score a touchdown. Dude come up and just tap me like this. Paralyzed again. And Mr. Brown was like, yo, you got to have this surgery if your bone don't fuse. I ain't putting you back out there. Yeah. So I end up having the surgery. The first time I took it from the bone bank, it didn't fuse. The second time I took it from my hip, and it fused. And that shit was crazy. Like, didn't nobody think I would come back and play fucking 9 years after that and make All Pro and Pro Bowl.
That's crazy impressive. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I had no idea what that was.
Speaking of James Harrison, Pax boy Ocho, JUCO legend out here with me. Chad, they about to get it in. I know you're a fighting fan. What's happening with Chad and James, man? Is that real?
It's a real fight. Chad can box.
Yeah.
I don't know how much in shape James is in.
Like boxing shape. Yeah.
But like, if he catch Chad with one of them motherfucking punches,
what's gonna happen?
Gonna be another meme from Chad other knockout. There's gonna be a bad meme. But I will say this: Chad is quick, fast.
Yeah, good feet.
And obviously, he gonna in and out him and try to run. But I don't know. We'll see if the goddamn what they say if the fish catch the minnow. But I'm going to it. I want to see it. I want to because I asked James. I'm like, bro, you fighting for real? He's like, I'm gonna fuck Chad up. And I just seen Chad at SEC championship indoor because me and his daughter run. His daughter run for Kentucky. My daughter is Mississippi State. And I'm like, bro, really doing this, bro? He's like, bro, we're doing this. I'm like, oh shit.
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be. What is it about your Bengals team? You like to fight, you box. Chad like to fight, he box. TJ, he's nice on the front, but if you fuck with TJ crazy. What was it about that Bengals team? All y'all just ready to fight at any moment? It seemed like.
I don't know about Chad them team because like we was decent when Chad them was here, but like we wasn't where we was at when Chad them left. Like I think the mindset of me, Vontaze, Reggie Nelson, kind of changed the mode of what the Bengals was looked at. Wallace Gilbert, and we was just tough, bro. Like we wasn't worried about what we was getting fined. Shit, we was chipping in on each other fines. Like our whole thing was like we finna start being the bad boys, and like we just took off and ran with it. And then we got so physical they started making different rules and shit like,
Yeah.
oh damn, you hitting them too hard, you hitting them too low, you can't do this. Like if you go back and look at all the rules, all the fucking rules are somewhat. This concussion shit is because our team from fucking 13 to 17, like nobody wanted to come fucking play us, bro. I'm talking about like teams was literally scared to play us. I never forget this RP DT. We playing DT at Cincinnati. I think it was a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And all of them come, hey man, can y'all, hey bro, just don't be trying to kill us. I'm like, bro, we'll talk to y'all at the game. And like we don't have numerous of teams say this like to us before the game. Like, yo, we friends. No, we're not. Like, and we was
Man.
really carrying that shit like a fraternity. Like, hey bro, helping a motherfucker up, you can find $2,000.
Hey, Pat, what the fuck's happened, man? What happened with that? Like, we used to be able to be cool at the barbershop, talk shit at the barbershop, mama jokes, hood shit, normal shit, and be cool still. Nowadays, whether you a right or a left thinking politician or a motherfucking blood in a crib, it ain't no different. Like, today, it's crazy. The world has been separated by, I think, social media, but the world has been jersey swap era. I call it jersey swap era. Motherfuckers want your jersey over playing hard and then being cool after the game. Fuck all that during the game. This is what we play for. I don't get it.
Yeah, I've never been into that shit. Like, I wouldn't give a damn if I was playing against my mama, my daddy, my cousin, my sister, my brother. Like, once we put this shit on, like, I have no obligations to be nice to nobody. I'm on one mission only, to win the game. We play to win the game. After the game, I talk with you, boom, boom, boom. Like, but man, after the game is over, but like, I do not believe in that shit. Like, I just don't. Like, I don't believe in all that being cool before the games, having conversation. And another thing, like, all these players have fucking got their own shows and shit after the game. Man, I would have went bananas if we done lost a motherfucking game by a touchdown, 3 points, 21. And you on this motherfucker talking to these folks like you ain't got, like, oh, it's cool, you know, yeah.
It's a different era, Pat. It's a different era, Pat. If you play today, I can see you having your show still.
Bro, you got to enjoy the football while you can, because that shit not for long. You can talk however long you want to, as long as you living, bro.
No doubt.
Like, when it's time to get in between them lines, bro, like, you got to.
No way, Michael Parsons go on a show right after and you not checking him. No fucking way.
No fucking way.
I tell that shit every day. I'm like, dog, these motherfuckers doing podcasts is ruining the fucking actual game. We're making this shit so goddamn soft.
Yes.
But Mike is still balling though. Let's stay with Micah. If I'm still balling, if I'm balling on the defense,
hey, look,
what we talking about?
I bet you he could have played better if he had that podcast though.
Thank you. I said the same shit. Motherfucker can't even take out the wrong arm. Motherfucker can't stop the run. Shit.
He might get 41 M, so he doing something right.
That's my point. We pay motherfuckers to underdeliver, homie. Shit. That's what I say. But anyway.
41 million is fair. You know what I mean? He showed up, but like what I'm saying, the podcast shit, there's gotta be some shit up on this shit.
What about this? What about these motherfuckers?
Some rules with that shit or something.
What about motherfuckers painting their shit? They rather paint their shit than be a fucking man quarterback. I'm like, what the fuck we doing anyway?
That's that new age shit, and they get endorsed by fingernail polish. Like whoever is fucking I just don't get it. That Cali shit where you at really started this shit. You know
why
you talking that shit, JB? Your fucking backyard is the one who started this shit.
Hey, we still got some motherfuckers.
Man, my motherfucking nails, I don't even get my motherfucking nails done no more. I done start goddamn cut my own shit.
Dirty right now, man.
Man.
Hey, Pat, I did it one day. I went with a bitch one day to a fucking whatever the bitches do, get their nails shit done.
Pedicure day, Pat.
Yeah, I did it one time. I said, bitch, I'll never let another motherfucker touch my fucking feet. Never in my life. Fuck all that.
Stinky feet, motherfucker. Let me ask you this one last thing back on my end on more of a serious note, man. We know your story, man, how you stepped up to the plate for your late great friend and teammate Chris Henry, and Chris Henry Jr., his son, man, is balling out. I think he's the number one recruit in the nation, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of two questions. So number one, can you just talk about like what led you to stepping up to the plate, filling that void, you know, of his father not being able to be here, number one. And number two, though, talk about just how great Chris Jr. is just on the field because I know he's balling right now.
I ain't gonna talk about feeling no boy, but like, I had a chance to really just turn a boy into a man. You get what I'm saying? Teach him the ins out of working out and being a pro. Because if you want this, it's one way to do it, and you got to do it that way every time. And when he got here first, I don't think he understood what I was saying. And shit, now he does because he's getting paid. Excited to see what the future brings for him, and see what school he end up signing to.
Yeah.
So, hey, Pac, a lot of, and I know that's a fucking touchy topic. I deal with the same thing. Here's my issue: like a lot of cats judge us for what they see on social media from guys like you and I, and
who
then they
gives
don't
a fuck?
understand. Exactly, and they don't understand, but they don't ever talk about that. They don't ever talk about what the fuck we do for these babies and these other. But they all want to talk about, oh, I saw the motherfucker, boo. The motherfucker missed me. You don't know the real motherfuckers and real recognize the real. So kudos to you for doing what you do.
Yeah, shout out to you, Pat. For real.
And, man, I can't thank you enough, dog. We got to do it again. You still fuck with McAfee and them or no?
Yeah, Sirski, you know I ain't leaving my twin. Love McAfee. No. Don't you say shit about McAfee. We get to fighting on this motherfucker right now. Goddamn.
You know Pat will fight you for real, so at least don't fuck around.
Hey, how them big ass dogs doing, man?
They good. One of them is fucking asleep right here.
I got Carcans and Shepherds. You should see my fucking dogs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I got to see.
My one dog is like 210 pounds. It's fucking huge.
This motherfucker is 155. This motherfucker
I know,
is
I see him. He look big as hell on the front.
Big as hell. Will jump on you as soon as you walk in the
house. He love brothers too. He damn near he damn near fuck Smitty every time he walk in the door.
Fuck me. He don't do that, but he jump on me and slobber on my shirt. He don't fuck me though.
Racist ass dog.
He don't fuck me back, but he do slobber on me and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Hey, Pac-Man, stay safe out here, dog. We'll chop it up. Let me know when you want me on your shit. You're doing a hell of a job on that show, too, so I love that shit.
I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch.
All right, brother. Stay safe.
Man.
All right, my dog. Good seeing you.
Peace.
Pac-Man.
Shout out to my main man, Pacman Jones. Unbelievable. You know, I forgot to ask him. I was going to ask him because he just had a short hit the other day about the broad that hit the motherfucker with the baton. I was gonna ask him about that. Fuck.
You're not locked in. And 5 Hour Energy got you all loosey goosey. You need to stop drinking 5 Hour Energy and drink Red Bull, homie.
But he just texted me. You should have asked me then.
Damn.
That's right. Hey, he an adamant listener though. He listens to the show all the time. He always hit me up. He's like, man, I love this shit. So shout out to him. Man, let's take what do we got? We got to take.
We might as well take a little break, right?
Yeah, take a little break.
Yeah, take a little 5-minute break. I'm gonna move my car, man. I'm gonna take a piss. You go pour some coffee. Go feed Ash and Callie. Go text your broad. Come back. We're gonna be. Hey, we locked and loaded. It's Tuesday.
Go what?
On the show. Huh?
Go what?
I said go walk Ash. Go feed Ash and Callie. Pour yourself some coffee. Text your little side broad real quick. Tell her you good. Tell her good morning. I'm gonna move my car. Pour me some water. When we come back, we got more of the Coach JB show with Big Smitty. Steve Kim's going to join us. We're talking NFL free agency and boxing, homie.
Leah's in here?
What you mean?
Oh, no, you said text. All right, hey, wait. We'll be right back. I got to get to take a break. Peace. I'm not. So
let me see. Let me see. Dan Quinn.
Let me see. I never used to have to see.
Quinn.
But I didn't have to see.
Dan Quinn.
Every coach I can name you. Every coach. I can name you every coach in my era.
Tomlin. What you call? You might want to call Pete Carroll hard nose. Did you call Pete Carroll hard nose?
Yes.
Okay, Pete Carroll. That's fine then.
Like you really reach. Like you really have to think
I'm not
about
rich.
this.
I'm just thinking. You asked me a question on the spot. I have to just think real quick. I mean, like
you shouldn't have to. You realize what you're saying, right? You realize what you're saying, right? Like you have to think. When the fuck did you have to think about a coach being hard-nosed in the NFL, homie? Like, what the fuck are you saying? You just went against everything you said, homie.
Every 32 coaches went all just the toughest motherfuckers around. Like,
yeah, they were.
Is different. Tony Dungy wasn't like just a hard-nosed just coach around there. He gonna coach you up tough, but he ain't
Why? How do you say that?
Tony
Dungy
you
didn't see him?
Ryan, two totally different people.
Because you didn't see. Because you see how he is on social media. See, that's the thing, homie. Just because you don't film it every day doesn't mean he's not. By the way, go ask Eric Weddle, go ask fucking the head coach Raheem Morris, and why don't you go ask Warren Sapp if he did not absolutely motherfuck players and coaches.
Dungy didn't cuss.
He didn't cuss. Let's go ask some guys. Like, that's the thing about it. You guys all go off of what you see and what the image is portrayed on a ESPN or some fucking situation that we think that is not spin by mainstream media or by PR teams or marketing teams. Come on, homie. He ain't coaching football for shits and giggles because he's a fucking soft, fucking nice guy. Okay? That's not how he got in the business, Smitty. He did not get in the business for being a fucking smart, non-cussing guy. I love Tony Dungy. Christian wants to run for, I don't know what he wants to run for senator. Good. Does not mean he got into the business because he was a nice fucking guy.
I didn't say he's
I'm just telling you.
There's multiple ways to skin a cat.
And you don't have to cuss, Smitty. I'm not even saying cuss. Just because I cuss, I don't say you got to cuss to coach. I never said that, number one.
I'm looking at the list. We got Sean Payton, Dan Campbell. We got John Harbaugh, Raheem Moore, Jonathan Gannon, Dan Quinn, Todd Bowles, Mike. Like, there's a lot of say what you want about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan ain't no bitch either now. Like, he got their ass working. And I know that firsthand for a fact. He got their ass working. Coaches coming in back early from break. I know that for a fact. I know people on the staff. Like, I'm looking at the list. Like, it's overblown is what I'm trying to say. It's overblown. There's a handful of guys that you might put in that little space of Mike McDaniel and you deeming him soft. I get that. It's not a lot of Mike McDaniels in the NFL coaching football. It's not. Not a head coach. It's not.
You're reaching.
It's not.
You're reaching.
It's not.
You're reaching like a motherfucker. You're trying to make it tough.
I got the list right here. It's not. So
hey, we didn't used to have to make it tough.
You know, I'm not trying to make it tough. I'm just naming the facts. I'm naming the coaches.
It's not fact though. You're trying to make it tough. It's not tough.
The coaches list I just pulled up in here and tell me who on this list is just soft.
I mean, we can do it all day. Everybody.
Let's pull it up.
Everybody's soft.
Andy Reid soft.
No, Andy Reid's on the other side. We already know. I already told you. I told you about
Pete Carroll soft. Mike Vrabel soft. Raheem Morris soft. Aaron Glenn soft. Dan Campbell
if you want to go down the list, you want to go all the way down the list.
How far I gotta go?
Let's go down the list. Let's go down the list.
Pull it up. I want to see it.
Well, fuck. If I could talk, homie. Jonathan Gannon, soft as runny baby shit.
Oh, he's not.
Raheem Morris, defensive guy. I'm gonna put him on the harder side. John Harbaugh, I'm gonna put him on the harder side. Yep. Sean McDermott, he looks good and all that on the sideline, but I don't know if he's hard nosed. Dave Canales, I know Dave personally. Ben Johnson, Zach Taylor, Stefanski, Schottenheimer. Sean Payton, so we're going to skip him because he's a hard ass.
We're not skipping nobody. Go through every name, homie.
No, what I mean is he's a hard ass. So the guys I'm naming, and I'm going to stay on the name and soft. Sean Payton, obviously. We know he's not. Dan Campbell, he looks hard, looks tough. We'll see. I don't know yet. Matt LaFleur, offensive guy. I don't know if he's a pushover. I'm not going to say he's a pushover or anything. I'm not saying he's a hard-nosed fucking go-in-your-ass type of get-in-your-ass guy. D'Amico Ryans, I'm not saying he's a getting-your-ass guy either. He's a nice guy, in my opinion. Shane Steichen. Liam Cohen. Duval. Yeah, he scares the shit out of me when I enter the locker room. Fucking Andy Reid, OG as it gets. Pete Carroll, OG as it gets. Jim Harbaugh, OG. Sean McVay.
Woo! Come on.
Mike McDaniel. Kevin O'Connell.
No, he a good coach.
Mike Vrabel. We know he's a hard nose. Kellen Moore.
You don't even know yet.
Brian Daboll, hard ass. Love him. Aaron Glenn. I like him. I think he's a hard nose. Nick Sirianni. I don't think he's hard nosed, but I don't think he's a bitch. So I'm not saying any of these guys are bitches, but I'm saying is soft versus hard. So I would not put Sirianni on the hard side. I would not put him on the hard side though.
Not on the soft list either, so.
Mike Tomlin, love him, gangster. Kyle Shanahan. I don't think he's soft. I don't think he's a hard nosed fucking guy.
Right now. Trust me, facts.
Mike McDonald, defensive guy. I'm gonna say he's soft. Todd Bowles.
Say it. He's gonna say it.
We're back in the building. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member, man. Shout out to Pacman Jones for joining this program. We'll get him on during the draft as well. I'm going to go on his show this week as well. Politely Raw. Go check it out on all platforms. Let's dive into some things here, man. This show is powered by BetUS. Make sure you head on over there today and tell them we sent you. Promo code CoachJB. Drop a deposit, and you get 150% bonus. So head on over to BetUS today. Proud show sponsor. Smitty, what the fuck are the Cowboys doing? I just got to ask you real quick. That's all I got to say. I just want to know what they're doing. Is Smitty Bailey's a bad boy? Is Jerry Jones an actor now? I'm going to be honest. He did a hell of a job on Landman.
You always say that.
Seriously, like right now, because you know, your brother, watch it. There's some brothers in there though. Right now, I would say he's a better actor than a manager or a GM or an owner. That's how good of a job he did on the movie.
They did add Javonte Williams though as a running back. I'm just saying they did something, and they got Javonte Williams as a running back. You know what I mean?
Look what the teams are. Just compare them to a team that went to a playoffs with a rookie quarterback in Washington. Compare those two off season so far. By the way, they just got fucking Laramie Tunzel yesterday for fucking some Chico 6 and string cheese. About 4 picks, but I'm just saying, like. The Washington Commanders, they lost Allen, a great D tackle. I think we're gonna have your guy Sheldon Day on tomorrow to talk about that.
Yep.
But they gained an O-line for Jaden Daniels. I mean, one of the better guys in the league. Shaun Salisbury said there's a reason the Texans got rid of him though, because he's the most false starts in football and he's not coachable. That's the rumor coming out of Houston. And D'Amico Ryans wants guys all in. That's what the rumors are. So I'm just throwing that out there. But he's a talent. We already know, right? So Washington got him. Look what they've done in the offseason. Just Washington Commanders alone.
You got Debo. Say what you want about Debo. That's still a good weapon.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Just compare. Just the mere action. Of doing something.
Versus at least.
Man, we got a legendary guy himself. We want to bring in and discuss. Let's keep this conversation going because I got to ask him because he's kind of an insider on this Dallas Cowboy thing. Our main man, the Korean Cosell himself, the co-host of Whitlock's Fearless, along with Mario Lopez and the 3 Knockdown Rule. You can catch on YouTube every day. Make sure you chime into him on Whitlock Fearless as well. Nora of all things, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gem, Steve Kim joins us. Steve, appreciate you. Morning. Hey, what the fuck are the Cowboys doing? That's who they signed, by the way.
Cowboys are in the worst place.
I just want to compare the
mediocrity.
Like, you're a guy that knows football, like the history, the lineage. Like, I just want to compare the offseason right now. Washington Commanders just got Laramie Tunzel. We could say he's a shitbird, false starter, all that shit. But bottom line is he's a top 5 talent at tackle. They got rid of a D tackle today. We just talked about. They lost something there, but they've gotten better. Deebo Samuel, Jaden Daniels has more weapons, more protection, and I mean he looks like a goddamn Trojan commercial right now, as protected as he's going to be. Where are we with the Cowboys? What is going on with Jerry Jones? Are they really just sleeping here? Like what in the hell?
The Cowboys are in the worst spot you can be in the National Football League. They're not terrible enough to understand that they need to rebuild or good enough to win it. And if you're kind of right in that middle, that what I call the vortex of mediocrity, where you can win 6 to 8 to 9 games, but you're no threat, but then you don't actually make that commitment to say, let's just burn this whole thing down the way Jimmy did in '89. Where he released Randy White, Ed Too Tall Jones. He got rid of his starting quarterback. Danny White retired. Pallur, I think, got traded. Sometimes you have to understand that, you know what we have right now is not going to work. Let's think 3 years ahead if we can't catch lightning in a bottle. The problem is, and I said this to Whitlock the last couple days, Jerry's at that age. He ain't doing any more rebuilds. He may not have the time.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah, that's
I agree. Real quick, before Smitty gets into the rundown with you, I got to ask you just over the last few days, your biggest winners, biggest losers so far in free agency or trade, via trade, whatever you want to say. Your biggest surprises, I guess. You know, the Geno Smiths, Sam Darnold. Your biggest winners, biggest losers, real quick off the top of the head. Not everyone, but just a couple come to mind.
The quarterback thing, Devontae Adams as a piece, maybe not a true elite number one anymore, but paired up with Nakua, with McVay dialing it up with all the weapons he has, and as long as Matt Stafford doesn't have any illusions of grandeur of where he should be, I think the Rams are going to be dynamic offensively if they stay healthy.
And defense got better. I think they're getting better. If they were this close to the Eagles last year on a 3rd and 1 from winning, I think they've even got closer with what Eagles have lost this offseason already. Losing Sweat to the Cardinals yesterday was a big loss for them, in my opinion, on defense. But the Rams have even inched closer, to your point.
And Washington, look, say what you want about Debo, but as a spot weapon that you dial a couple of things up, or you scheme some touches up, and they're very creative over there. That's another team. And look, you got to have a quarterback, and they certainly have one. So I like that. You know, Darnold going to Seattle, I'm like, geez, they don't have anyone left, do they? They have Jackson Smith and Jigba. The rest of the receiving crew's kind of gone. They have some good running backs. The Raiders are going to be interesting because Geno is a serviceable starting quarterback. I think he's markedly better than anyone that they trotted out last year.
Yeah.
But again, who does he have outside? He has a great tight end. I don't see the Raiders being much of a threat. I want to see who picks up Bosa. I think Bosa, as a limited reps edge rusher on 3rd down, can be effective. So that'll be interesting. By the way, I saw you had Pacman Jones on. I'd say Pacman Jones, his place in West Virginia history, I think he's certainly Mount Rushmore on defense. The greatest player in West Virginia history is probably Sam Huff. So then if you look at the Mount Rushmore of Mountaineers, I'd go him, Major Harris. I think Darryl Talley has to be given a lot of credit. Jeff Hostetler. Famous Amos Zeroaway. Pat White.
Yeah.
Who else?
There's been a lot.
But Pacman Jones in 2003 had a great game against Miami. I'll never forget it. They lined him up one-on-one on the outside. We had the ball on the 3-yard line, and Brock Berlin underthrows this fade route, and Pacman just snuffed out Kellen Winslow. I've never actually seen a cornerback actually high point a fade route the way he did. They came this close to winning the game. They had a 4th and 14. They're down by 1 or 2 after Quincy Wilson ran over Brandon Merriweather to get into the end zone. I'm thinking we're going to lose to West Virginia at home. This is when Miami, I think, was the number 2 team in the country. 4th and 14, Berlin just kind of like throws one over the middle, and Winslow just went over he climbed the ladder. And as soon as he caught it, I said, we're going to get lucky here. Boy,
hey, Steve, Tavon Austin's highlight film might have been the best I've ever seen. One of the best I've ever seen. It was unbelievable.
Austin is in the
and
top
Geno
10.
Smith.
He was throwing it to him. Shoot, Geno was a baller.
Geno. Who else? I remember Geno Smith put up an offense. They scored 70 on Clemson.
Their offense was insane when him and Tavon was there. So now you got some good
Reggie Rembert was a really good receiver. They've had some great players. I mean, Don Nealon in the 80s, what he did at West Virginia could not be done today. And you know why? Because he'd get picked apart by the transfer portal. But if you look at West Virginia.
Noel Devine. I forgot that name, G. Wizzle.
Noel Devine, high school legend. But
talent,
every 3 to 4 years, West Virginia would have this team that could compete on a national level. And in 88, they went 11-0. They lost to Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. But nowadays, I don't think you can run a program like West Virginia because teams would come poaching. And that's a damn shame.
That's 100% right. Steve, before we dive into the rundown, I did have a quick thought that came to my mind. You were talking about the 89 Cowboys, I believe, when you said they did a rebuild. It kind of feels like the Niners right now are in the middle of doing a rebuild too. If you think about all the moves they've made or players they've lost, they lost Hufunga, they lost Greenlaw, Debo just went to the Washington. Who else they lose? They let go of Kyle Juszczyk, their fullback.
9-time Pro Bowler.
9 times. So, I mean, what's going on? Debo. He's an option. Like, it's like clean house in Niner land.
Kittle is the last of the Mohicans. And when they lost to that Chief team in that Super Bowl, that game I thought they should have won, it felt like your window is now closed.
By the way, they lost. Right tackle, right guard. The right guard is good as anybody.
He's a beast.
One of the best in football. Now he's over there with Jordan Love in Green Bay. To me, I don't know, Steve. I'm just telling you. I don't know.
What's in my Colts?
I mean, it's unbelievable the names they've lost. Here's the thing, though, Steve. Just talking brass tacks here. I'm not going to even pat myself on the back about Shanahan and Lynch being the 2 most overrated coach and GM in football. But
Lynch has done a good job.
This might be a good move, though. Like they're probably trying to go younger.
Does this scream to you that something's up their sleeves to not sign Brock Purdy? Because you can't sign Brock Purdy. I'll be honest. You cannot sign Brock Purdy now.
Well, not at 45.
What are you signing him for? What are you signing him for? What are you signing him for?
Jason? What are you saying, Jason?
I'm just saying, Steve, you know, you're smarter than me, Steve. Why would you sign him to a big $50 million deal? Why? With this roster? It makes zero sense to me.
Well,
I'm not that smart.
I've said this from the beginning. The key for the Niners when it comes to Brock Purdy, do not overbid against yourself. And
I said the same shit. Yep.
And he's very good at being a complementary piece as a part of a machine. Now that you pick off a lot of these guys, I'm thinking, wow, is he really worth 45, 50 million?
I don't know why.
Are you still thinking Aaron Rodgers is going to the Bay? Is that what you're saying right now?
I am. Here's the thing. I think that's why he's holding off on the Steelers right now, and I think that's why they're having conversation. I got to be honest. I think he would. I said there's nowhere better than finishing a career at home. It makes sense. Devontae Adams came home. He's a California kid. He's 3 hours from Fresno. He came back home to West Coast again. After the Vegas thing was a debacle. Aaron, I think, can do the same. I don't know. I'm just thinking it's a long shot, but it is what it is. I think there's a deal on the table, and he's yet to do anything with it. And he loves Mike Tomlin. There's only one reason for that. Now, Steve, I don't know what you think. Maybe he follows Brett Favre's footsteps, but I think that hurts his legacy going to Minnesota. But back to the Niners, Steve. Sean Salisbury and I do a show every day now on Rumble. And we said the same thing. What are they doing? There's no way that this screams sign this quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, to a $50 million deal. Who's going to match that out there?
Right.
Who? The Giants? Cleveland? Nobody. I don't know, Steve. I'm just thinking outside the box here. I don't know. I'm glad though. Rams lock up the AFC West today. March 11th. NFC West.
Well, let me dive to this rundown, man. It's just some other big free agency news. Justin Fields reached an agreement on a 2-year, $40 million deal that includes $30 million guaranteed with the Jets. JB's cracking up laughing right now. Steve,
He's laughing, man.
how do you feel about this move? Do you like it, love it, or hate it?
How bad is the quarterback market in the fucking NFL? Holy shit.
I like Justin. I don't care.
I don't know if Justin's a
Good
long-term starter. This is going to be his last shot. And look, he has not had great situations. Chicago never helped him. Last year, again, he was kind of a placeholder for a veteran quarterback.
He went 4-2.
Right, but, I mean, if you look at Warren Sharp, who really analyzes this and watched the games, it kind of confirmed what I thought. Justin Fields played well enough not to lose the games. It's not like he was the reason they went 4-2, okay? So, boy, the Jets, they still have a bad offensive line. I don't know if Garrett Wilson is a true number one. I don't know.
He's back with his teammate, though. Him and Garrett play together at Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. They're back together. There might be a connection there.
Yeah, but they're not playing Rutgers in Minnesota, though, either.
Hey, Steve, Smitty, too. Let me ask you this, though. Is this Aaron Glenn's first show of inexperience, lack thereof experience? Is this a bad move for him as a first-year head coach, you think? Or is this just a 2-year fill-out, and he's going to get a guy to bridge for 2 years until they go get either develop a young kid or go get someone later on in free agency?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's like a bridge. I think it's like a test. It's like, hey, maybe Justin shocks the world and actually has a big time year, and you get him for the cheap. Or to your point, it's like he's rolling the dice. It's like, hey, I got a little bit of time to kind of put this thing together. And to your point, JB, the QB market is only so many quarterbacks available right now. You know, Darnell wasn't coming back; he's gone. Just sound like, you know, obviously, you know, you and Aaron was on the same page, so it's like, okay, you got to get somebody, and they still got Tyrod Taylor as a backup there, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just saying, worst case scenario, they got somebody who's a vet who could come in.
Tyrod is a very good backup. What I would do, and I've always said this about Justin Fields, I would do a lot of the same stuff they did at Ohio State. I'd go a little up tempo. I'd go shotgun spread, let them run it around. Look, Aaron Glenn, because he is the prodigal son coming back to Gotham City, he's not going to just get 2-3 years. Unless something happens outside the realm of football, he's getting his 4 to 5 years to build this.
Yeah.
So he's going to get a good, fair shot to lay a foundation and build upon it. Okay?
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So it's not like you signed Justin Fields to an 8-year, $350 million deal here. Oh, by the way, one move I did like, JB, to go back to your point, I think the Bills locking up their quarterback for a very long time in a deal that'll look very, very favorable for the team, provided Allen stays healthy in about 2-3 years.
Yeah,
I think that's a good long-term investment.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think they lost one of their receivers that was an up-and-comer, Hollis.
Mac was like a very good special teams guy, though. Very good special team. You're going to miss him on that.
Put his ass in.
Steve, if we were grading so far, we're at second day of free agency, but there's been, you know, the tag. We've been about 12 days into the tag realm of tagging guys. The Patriots have seemed to have slimmed their fat, cut some fat, and trimmed it, and they're making some decent moves. Vrabel's already showing that he has the experience and understands it, just like Pete Carroll in Vegas. At least they have a QB that can spin it. They locked down Max Crosby. Teams are doing things. Where's your thought on, we just got the Niners take, what they're doing? We don't know yet. It seems like a blow-up to me. Seattle's either very smart or very dumb, Steve, with what they're doing. Didn't want to sign Geno. Signed Sam to basically about the same deal, basically. I think it was a little few million less yearly, but where you at with this deal? I don't know if I want to go to play in the rain, man, every day. When I was playing indoors, I don't know if Sam had the opportunity to stay or not, but this seems very awkward to me for Seattle to make this move.
Well, I think Sam's only 27. That probably played a factor.
Yeah, he is. 26 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, so, look, whatever chance Sam Darnold had of being the long-term starter and taking the place of J.J. McCarthy as the long-term quarterback in Minnesota probably ended with his last 8 quarters against Detroit and then the playoff game against the Rams. Whether that's fair or not, you can debate that. Seattle looks like they moved on from their core. I mean, 2-3 years ago, they looked like them in Detroit, an up-and-coming team with a really good young nucleus. And while Dan Campbell won a lot of games, that performance, Pete Carroll lost his job because 2 years ago they were mediocre, and they decided to move on. So it's fun. I think Seattle's made the decision. If we're getting rid of Metcalf and we're going to release Lockett, this core's not going to work. We've gone as far as we can. It kind of looks like they are actually, I don't want to say a rebuild, but they are transitioning. I think that much is clear.
No doubt.
No doubt. Another move here before we kind of switch gears to another topic, though. I saw the Chargers signed running back Najee Harris, a 1-year deal worth up to $9.25 million. I know Harris kind of gets like, it's kind of like some mixed reviews depending who you're talking to on how you feel about Harris, but
plays every game.
Plays every game. You know what I mean? I think didn't he get 1,000 last year, if I'm not mistaken? 1,000 yards rushing, put him there in Harbaugh.
Every year.
I think he's a good pick up there. I think it works here in LA with the Chargers. Steve, do you like it? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, he's solid. And serviceable and reliable. You know.
Yeah.
If I'm the Chargers, I got to get a big-bodied number 1 receiver, though.
Yeah.
Hey, but Najee I like because he fits Harbaugh. He fits the old line with the Joe Alts and heavy going over formations and extra linemen and the shit that Harbaugh does and running the football with a guy that can actually, a Derrick Henry simulant type of guy where he can run downhill. That's what Harbaugh wanted. So I think he fits it to a T. I think this is actually a big get, and later on next year, we're going to be like, damn, the Najee Harris signing was huge because they're fucking averaging 4.5 yards a carry, and they're moving the sticks, and we're going to be like, shit. Steve's point, they need a wideout. They need some weapons, though. Goddamn.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Q is not the guy. Just not dependable enough. Does not catch the ball consistently enough. Does not make the big-bodied contested catches. And look,
do they still got Dobbins? They still got Dobbins?
Yeah, I think they do. I know they released my guy Gus the Bus because he's always banged up. That's a shame. But the Chargers are going to be solid. But again, you got to be a little bit explosive once in a while.
Every now and then.
No doubt. Hey, Steve, I got to ask you. Yesterday, some news broke in the boxing world real quick, and I've actually talked to this guy on the phone. A buddy of mine's real close with him. But your boy Haney's dad basically told an interviewer that
my guy Todd Grisham.
Yeah, show the video, Bailey.
You're full of shit. And I hope that this is what you guys wanted to do. It's a fucking circus act. Devin is a real fighter, and you showed no respect up there. You showed no respect for what he's done for boxing. He's a 2-division champion, an undisputed champion, and you're a piece of shit.
Well, that's not kind of you to say.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you the truth.
Why are the fans booing him then?
Well, I mean, that's because a part of it. We are in LA. This is a great boxing market, right? But it's made up predominantly of Hispanic fans that cheer for Ryan Garcia, and that's quite all right.
Well, it's okay. It's okay to be the bad guy.
But listen, and it's okay to be the bad guy, but it's not good for you to be the piece of shit that you are.
Well, explain what you mean by that.
Well,
what did I do specifically?
Well, you didn't describe him for who he was.
Michael Buffer introduced him.
No, but you on the stage, you painted Ryan Garcia as if he's won something. He's a PED drug cheat. You never said that. That's really.
I did. I asked your son specifically if the punishment fit the crime. I asked your son.
Steve,
you got to see the end though, where Todd said, "Can we hug it out?"
Yeah, he threw the phrase.
Did he say that?
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah. He was at peace at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the punishment is one thing, but how you describe what that fighter is and what he is, you didn't do.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I have the most respect for your son. I think he's amazing at it.
I don't think that you do. I think that you are political, right? You did just what you wanted to do, and you got it off. I mean, and that's what this promotion has been about. But number 9.
But we're trying to sell a fight here. You know this, right?
Well, you sell it right.
All right, here's your chance to sell it.
Right. You sell it right. March 2nd, Devin will come in, and he's going to be what he's going to be a better version of Devin Haney, just like he said.
There you go. Still feel that way about me? Come on. Give me a hug.
No.
All right. Come on, Bill. You're just all right. Ease up.
Hey, Steve, he likes you, by the way. I talked to him on the phone. He's like, I like Steve Kim. He keeps it real. Haney's dad told me that. But where are you at with this fight? And then I saw Ryan Garcia later and said, listen, PEDs don't help you not get hit. You got hit every fucking time by me.
I'm with you, but look, Bill Haney makes a good point, and I don't understand why Devin is being portrayed. Well, look, we know why. There is an ethnic bias. I get it. Most of the Mexican fans are going to side with a guy named Garcia and not Devin Haney. Yeah. But keep this in mind. Devin Haney did not break the rules. He is not the one who failed the drug test. Ryan Garcia can say whatever he wants. He could have his own conspiracy theories. He could have his own alibis. But he did two things there. He came in heavy on the weight, which absolutely helps your recovery when you are cutting weight. Talk to anyone that's ever done it. Number two, he failed the drug test. That is a fact. It is not an opinion. That is a fact. Yeah. So what I don't understand is with the fans demonizing the guy that, get this, played by the rules. Now, if it's just a thing that, hey, we're going to support our guy, I get it. But if you want to be fair about it, you are actually booing the guy that played by the rules. I don't know if that matters, but I'm just laying out the facts.
Yeah, no, that's real there. And that's actually, I mean, a pretty big fight card, though. I know right now for the casual fans, they probably think Haney and Garcia are about to fight each other right now. No. They have other, competitors right in front of them. How are you viewing that overall just fight card as we're getting close to it?
I mean, it's fun. Ryan should beat Rolly Romero. I just think he's too good.
Yeah.
Okay, but although he has not fought in a year, remember, he has not fought since April 20th, serving that suspension. But there's a reason why they chose Rolly. Ryan should be too quick, too strong, too technically sound. Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barboza is a real grudge match. Arnold's come up with some big victories, beat Jack Catterall about a month ago. That's a good win for him. But Teofimo is the heavy favorite with the power and the speed that he brings. And then Devin Haney, we're going to see what he is. That last fight, it was not just about one punch. It was about a lot of them. Because that fight could have been stopped a couple of times, right? Harvey Dock decided to let that go on. He looks good on the exterior. Looks very good physically. But we don't know how he's going to react to the first punch that he catches on the chin. And then with Jose Ramirez, I think the pilot light has been kind of flickering on and off with him in terms of his passion for the sport. So, look, this card is designed to set up other big fights.
Right.
So, all of the A sides are pretty heavy favorites here on that Friday night.
So, would you look at this like three tune-up fights, or at least two of them are like tune-up fights?
I would say they're high-profile prelude fights. Yes,
gotcha.
I think that's a fair way to put it.
Got you. All right.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, let's move on, man. So this is big news, y'all. I'm sure Steve saw this, and you brought this up a few minutes ago before Steve jumped on. The high school track runner who got attacked with a baton in the middle of a relay during the VSHL Class 3 State Indoor Championships. Her name Caitlyn Tucker was on the second leg of the 4x200 meter relay at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. When she got smacked in the head, Tucker suffered a concussion and a potential skull fracture. Crazy situation right here. JB, I'm gonna go to you first. What was your reaction when you saw it? It's crazy.
I don't see. So I saw Pacman's take. I forgot to ask him about this. He's a track guy his whole career, and he's talking about, we call it ice cream to hammer when we taught it, right? Ice cream to hammer, right? So you kept your arms in motion. That's just a buzzword that we use when we taught sprinting to football players. Ice cream to hammer, and that's, if you guys don't know what it means, ice cream to hammer. So that is how we described it when we taught football guys how to run. Our thing was first 10 yards.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Pacman's defending it, basically saying because the girls come out crying.
She was saying it was not intentional, this and the third.
Yeah. I show it again. I don't see how it's not intentional. Like, that's not ice cream to hammer. She goes.
Because prior to that point, she's running normal and everything's perfectly fine, and then out of nowhere,
I don't buy it.
I'm not a runner either, but I've never seen a sprinter do this motion. Like in the middle of your perfectly fine.
Here's the thing, Steve. Here's the thing that the brass tacks of this thing is. the privilege is mind-boggling. Like, we literally have this privilege with young people now that they think that they can do whatever they want and then cry about it, ask for forgiveness and retribution and be fine with it. Like, when are we going to start holding these motherfuckers' card to the fire? Like, I just do not understand the absolute crybaby mentality that allows them to think that they're supposed to be forgiven and all is good. This girl got eliminated from a fucking game. Steve, maybe I'm wrong, but haven't we kind of taught this mentality nowadays with the whole I deserve everything, I'm supposed to win fucking mentality, and they don't know how to have any humility anymore and actually go work for their fucking prize. I just see that screaming at me. I've talked to a few track guys, buddies of mine, and they're like, man, I don't see how that motherfucker, she's not even close. She's literally around the corner getting past and a deliberate swing from everyone that I've talked to. I don't know. I saw Whitlock and you discussed it, or I saw Whitlock discuss it. I don't know, Steve, what your take is, but I'm curious to get Pacman's. I got to ask him privately.
Well, I would just charge her with assault. Try to,
So you think it's deliberate?
I don't think there's any doubt.
Yeah,
I don't know what the argument
Smitty,
is.
That right there, there's no way.
And you know me, JB, I was trying to give her the benefit of it. I was trying to find something. And I'm like, nah.
You know what the funniest thing is? She did an interview, and in the first 5 seconds, you heard the chirp, the fire alarm, chirp. And I'm like, oh, that explains a lot of it. Okay.
The chirp. I hate the chirp.
What does that explain, Steve? What does that explain?
Smitty, you don't know about the chirp?
I've seen a funny video of it before.
Hey, Steve, Smitty. So, Smitty, you're on you think she's deliberate?
Yeah, I just, again, I'm not a track guy. I love to have a track person on here, but that just common sense. That's not a regular motion. She's running perfectly, normally fine until she sees her teammate gets in front of her, and then out of nowhere this happens. It just There's no way. There's no way that's an accident. I don't see any world that's an accident. You see her in front of her. People are saying she got tired and lost form.
Right then and there. She just lost.
I don't want to hear it. Steve, before I get you out of here, let me ask you the best fit for Aaron Rodgers right now. What team do you scream out?
I like the Steelers. The Steelers.
If you're the Steelers, are you doing everything you can today to lock that up?
Well, look, I'm going to say what I said to Whitlock. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I got to have a meeting with A-Rod and say, Aaron, you're not doing any hot naked yoga in the Himalayas this offseason, right? You're going to be a football player. I need you at every OTA, voluntary, mandatory. I need you at the quarterback school. I need you at the passing camp. I need you at every single mini camp. None of this, all that other extracurricular stuff, it's not going to work here. It's not what I'm looking for. You need to rehabilitate your image as a winner. Can you do that? If so, you're my quarterback. If not, let's just shake hands and just part ways. It's really that simple. Can he be that guy? Is he willing to make that commitment?
Yeah, I agree with you. No dark retreats, no fucking pyramid, no Gaza Strip walk. I don't want to hear anything. I just need him to show up and show his face to certain guys, man. That's just what it is. So I agree with you. There's a few guys left out here. And when Carson Wentz, Flacco, AR5 are the names being thrown out, please somebody just fucking whisper something in my ear and tell me I've been right this for 5 years at how fucking bad the quarterback position is. Like, we're really hoping and wishing for Carson Wentz to be our savior, or Joe Flacco, or AR5, or Russell Wilson. Let's just say Russell Wilson, 38-year-old. But Steve Orlasky said he's still the best deep baller thrower. I don't give a fuck. Well, and then we got Jameis Winston, who Sean King thinks is a top 5 fucking quarterback in the league. So I'm trying to figure out.
Top 5? Did he really say
top 5?
No,
God, Sean King. Fuck Sean King. You got to come on with Sean King one day and just fucking annihilate him.
Well,
fuck Sean King. He's trying to be Jameis Winston's agent, I think.
Chris Ballard is the GM for Indy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That AR5 get him fired.
You're going to trade him again for nothing. You're going to get rid of him for nothing. I told Smitty, this is what we're doing now in the league. We're getting rid of guys after we draft them with high commodity. I don't get it.
I remember when the mock drafts were coming out for that year, and when AR5 started being listed in the top 10, I said, guys, do you know he threw for under 50% in his 1 year as a starter? I said, you guys are, first of all, and I know AR5 said I was never coming back to Florida. Okay, how that he needed a transfer, but he needed a whole 2 years of development.
Yeah.
But again, I can't blame him. He still got drafted top 5, and I said whoever drafts him is taking the biggest boom or bust in the history of quarterbacks, I think, because there's no track record that was even good. I think he threw for 49.7. To do that in the modern era of football with these offenses, with the bubble screens, the smoke screens, the shuttles, the touch passes, if you're not at least 62, you're bad. He was at 47. Ballard should be fired for that because in less than 3 years, he's on the trading block.
I mean, this is a new thing, man. It fired a guy in Chicago, a Justin Fields situation. It fired coaches. They've had how many coaches have been fired there already? I don't know. AR5 needs to go down there with the girl with the baton and pass that motherfucker. That's what AR5
I was just about the girl. She at least hits her target. I mean, I'll give her that. Here's the thing about Flacco. Flacco is a backup, is an elite backup, because for a couple of weeks, he'll help you win a game or two. Jameis, I like Jameis. I think he's a character, but he's probably been typecast as a very fun, colorful backup.
I'll take Jameis to Indy. I'll take Jameis to Indy right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing 49ers backup.
He would be an upgrade. Would be an upgrade.
Huge upgrade. At least he can push the ball down the field. And Josh Downs.
Right. I don't know why I haven't thought of that one. That makes sense to me. Like, I like that. I like him in Indianapolis. I actually like him there.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't like him anywhere else.
Him, Jonathan Taylor, defense gonna be good. So I like it.
I mean, look, the Colts 2 years ago. I remember they did the Hard Knocks during the season. They were on their way to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Remember, they actually looked like a good young team, and you're like, wow, they got a good future. And then it fell apart the last 2 weeks, and they haven't been the same. But I do not understand. AR5 was someone that checked none of the boxes that like a Bill Parcells looks for. He said, you got to start at least 25 to 30 games. You got to be the team captain. You have to be on the way to graduate or have your degree. That's like all these things that Bill Parcells said. If you don't check most of them, I'm not drafting you. And then they took him in the top 5.
The problem is, I mean, Will Levis is horrible too, and that was the answer. Will Levis,
he was not a top, but he dropped out here, and guess what? Will Levis was not a first-round pick.
Yeah, but
I remember that draft. Smitty's Bailey in the back. Hey, Smitty's fucking with Bailey in the back, Steve. Hey, Steve, here's a question I got though. And then you had Gunther Minshew.
Gardner.
I keep saying Gunther.
Whatever, people know what he is. He was not a first-round draft choice. Neither was Will. Will Levis dropped out of the first, though, didn't he? Wasn't he an early second-round pick?
Yeah. Andrew Luck fucked it, Steve. Let's call it brass tacks. Andrew Luck was supposed to still be on this team. If Andrew Luck never left, I predict the Colts at one of them years probably would have made a run. We went to 4 FC championship games with him when we had no O-line. Soon as he retired and left, our O-line started to build. We got Quentin Nelson. We started getting good. If Andrew Luck just sticks it out, this team probably is one of the premier teams in the AFC. But no, he has to retire right before the season starts, and we ain't found a quarterback since, Steve.
Yeah, but AR5 was 4th pick overall or something. Hey, here's the thing, Steve. I got to be honest. When I'll get Gunther Minshew's name right when the fucking guy's good. When he's good. I'll learn your name when he's good.
Gardner. He's not
I used to tell my players, hey, Steve, my players would come over and they're like, Coach, you don't know my name yet. I go, no, because you're not any good yet. When you're good, I'll know your fucking name. I know Jermaine Johnson's name. I know Jermaine Johnson.
Hey, how'd your team
do?
Well,
fucking earn your name, motherfucker. Yeah. By the way, Belichick has North Carolina in just all fucking gray and blue. And there's no name. You earn your fucking jersey here. It's just what I did. Same shit.
You would have called me Smitty day one, homie.
Nah, I said, hey.
Nah, and I wouldn't
Kamala. Hey, Kamala, come here.
You'd have called me Big Smitty day one.
I remember when the NFL Network one year, they do 1 day in a training camp for a team, spend a day there. They show footage, not all the footage, but they interview players. So the Patriots had all their players wear the wrong numbers. Like Brady's wearing 52.
Oh, I remember that.
Edelman's wearing 89. So no one knew it was. I'm like, God, guys, this is not the formula for Coke. It's not that important. Just let Brady wear number 12. My God, you're throwing out air.
Steve, your guy, the Mormon, it went from the Mormon to the Mile High MILF Hunter. He's now in Miami, so now he's the Miami MILF Hunter. This motherfucker cannot get away.
He's gonna have a good time.
He can't get away from that Miami MILF Hunter, Steve.
Hold on, JB. He went from the what? The Mormon to the Mile High to the Miami.
Yeah, next is Minnesota. I'm just saying, like, this motherfucker cannot avoid the Miami. He's got the M word associated with him forever.
JB, where you going next?
Minnesota.
You know, I have a question. Do people still think Zach can be a starting quarterback? I read that and I'm like, he's given no indication of that.
Well, Steve, there's a fucking video out. Tua's out on his yacht.
That is him.
And he looks like hammered dog shit. Like, he looks fucking. Look at how fat it's like. Look at it. Like, hey, Uso's in the chat. No way that you're starting QB right now. I get it. I get Mahomes looks bad too, but this cat's got a fucking ultra. Belly's outside past his titties. I mean, he's living the life. He's chilling with
fall out next year though, like that. The your quarterbacks back in your day used to smoke cigarettes at halftime and be off.
Yeah, we were G's too. Yeah, but no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, shout out to Tua, man. Hopefully he does.
That's pretty alarming. Look, when you have a coach like Mike McDaniel, who's Mr. Cool, I don't think there's any fear of retribution.
Yeah, no demand. Yeah, no demand. He got paid.
I could not imagine a Bill Parcells quarterback ever thinking about coming into even an off-season training camp out of shape. Phil Simms would never. Phil Simms was a real weight guy. I mean, you got to set that tone. And I think Mike McDaniel.
Maybe. So that. Let me see that. Exactly like it looks like my yacht, pretty much. So I'm pretty sure.
A little different.
But anyway. It looks exactly like my yacht. Steve, that's where Steve would have been sitting right there. I don't know what's the difference. Not really. Same fucking difference. But hey, Steve, maybe he's thinking I gotta get fatter to prevent concussions. I don't know. But the Miami MILF Hunter sure fits in down there. I'll tell you.
Good market for sure.
I mean, that's another guy that was overdrafted. I remember his last year at BYU was the COVID season, and BYU played a really soft schedule.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking he's got a pretty live arm. He could snap it. But it was a little bit of a mirage. And I remember thinking, okay, this guy's probably a first-round draft choice. And I started seeing mocks where he's like top 5. And I'm like, really? Really?
Yeah.
So.
He is talented. That ball does come off his wrist. But
it does. I mean, you don't know who's getting it, though, Smitty.
Yeah, that's the only issue. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Smitty, word is, and it looks like Lamont Roach and Tank Davis, they are going to have a rematch. I think they're very close to making that a reality. Just as expected, the New York State Athletic Commission, I didn't think they were ever going to change that decision. Yeah. And so the draw will stand, but the good news is for Lamont that he's going to get an immediate rematch. So in many ways, that draw is a win for him.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Because he wasn't going to get it if he just would have lost big. So that's going to be a really interesting fight to see what happens because there's two things. Number one, whatever motivational issues Tank had, I think he'll be more motivated this time around. Even though my view is if you fight once every 8-9 months, there's no looking ahead. I don't think there's an excuse for it.
What time frame are we talking here?
In the May?
Sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Tank ain't tweeted or said nothing since March 3rd. I think he's locked in.
And then Lamont has a lot of confidence. He has a lot of confidence. I saw him grow in that fight. I saw him grow in those last 3-4 rounds. And Lamont is a solid technician. That does not change. And that's the thing.
Steve, so is it a smart bet to have a fight party, a big one?
For that one, yes.
Yeah.
I don't waste a bunch of money though.
That's
and
gonna
I
be
get
a good ass fight from the beginning. I
get
think.
here and it's a fucking 30-second knockout, and we waste all that fucking food.
Well, no, but coach, here's the difference. Coming into this fight, I didn't like to talk about Lamont. I didn't, and again, I didn't pick Lamont to win, but I kept telling people he's a really good, solid technician. I just have questions if he can move up to 35 and hold up. It turns out that extra 5 pounds made him a stronger, more durable guy. I was really impressed by his physical strength and his chin, but nobody knew who Lamont was. I've watched Lamont since the beginning of his career because he did a lot of fights with Golden Boy, and I called his undercard fights. But people thought he was some sort of bum, and I said he's not that. He just cannot punch at an elite level, but although he can punch pretty solid, it looks like now people know who Lamont is. And for about 3 days, JB, I think you would even admit, people outside of boxing for at least a few days were talking about the fight. When Uncle Shay's room or whatever that is, with Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharp, they talked about the fight. They had him on the show, and he came on other shows. I'm happy for Lamont. Lamont's going to make a good payday. Now the question is, can he be this much better? Can he push just a little bit harder and more to get that victory? Because that fight I thought was very close. I thought Lamont may have actually won that first fight.
Extremely close. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
have a fight party. People know who Lamont
have one
is
for that
now.
one.
Oh, now you're showing up. You're RSVP already.
Yeah.
Yeah, RSVP, Smitty. And Steve, he already RSVP. I'll have all this fucking food. It'll be a 30-second knockout. Fucking waste a bunch of money.
I like a motivated tank in this fight is what I'm saying.
Hopefully the undercard's good. Shit. Steve, I don't know. There's going to be some news today, I'm sure, with all the things that are going on in the NFL. I guess, are you surprised with the Laramie Tunsil deal? Sean Salisbury said yesterday, because he covers Houston on iHeartRadio in Houston, and he was like, not a very well-liked kid there. False start leader in the NFL. He was not even though he wore the C, Shaun said that was for another word, not captain.
Hey.
Where are you at with Laramie Tunsil getting moved? That's CJ Stroud's protection, and now Jaden Daniels has that same protection. Where are you at with the Texans making a move like that? That's kind of awkward now.
By the way, does that C word rhyme with bunt? But anyway, yeah, look, if CJ Stroud is your franchise player, and I get it.
Brad Boone coming on later.
Player, but you now have to replace Tunsil, excuse me. And CJ, I think, had a bit of a sophomore slump. Now, I'd still buy stock in him. Okay, I'm a big fan of his. But the question becomes, who do you replace him with? There's no guarantee that this next guy is going to be John Hanna or Larry Allen. So I found that to be an interesting move. It's clear, and I like what Washington's doing. They're going all in right now because they realize we have a elite quarterback on a rookie deal. That's the greatest form of salary cap management in the league. If you can strike gold on an early first contract quarterback, you can build a team around him. Now, in 4 years, that all ends. So I like the fact that the Commanders are saying all in, chips to the center of the table.
Hey, Steve, and I couldn't be more excited as a Ram fan because C.J. Gardner Johnson was just moved over to the Texans in exchange for a first-round pick, Kenyon Green. The Eagles are losing some key components to that Super Bowl championship team.
And Howie, we trust. Howie Roseman, we trust.
Yeah, they're still going to be good.
They're going to be good. And they look, Saquon's back there. Hurts runs that offense well. It's a very well-run organization. You still got two great wideouts. You got a really good tight end. Eagles, unless they fall apart physically and get injured, they're still going to win at least, 11 to 12 games next year. And again, Howie Roseman, we trust.
Yeah, I agree. And Les Snead, we trust. I think the Rams are doing a great job with him. Yeah, they're doing a great job.
So Stafford now is a Ram, right?
Yeah.
That's been settled? Okay, good.
Yeah. That's why off-season wise, Steve, we're going to talk today, but off-season wise, I think the Rams are up there with Washington. There's some teams that have done so far have done well. I guess the Cowboys and the Niners and got to be the worst. I don't know. I mean, that's crazy to say that, but those are two historic franchises that have absolutely done nothing this offseason.
The Niners have done a lot though. They've done a lot of releasing and letting go.
I'm
The
saying that
Cowboys
has to
haven't
say
done that lately
something.
either. Yeah.
There's not enough players out there, Smitty, to go get now, though. Not to change the game, not to replace it. By the way, Steve, before you get out of here, and I just got to ask Steve. I got to ask Steve this question, an analytical one, Smitty. Like, in the era that we're witnessing here, and all this money being thrown out at a lot of these guys, the Giants just grabbed the safety from Miami, the Dolphins, and
Holland.
2 years ago, or a year ago, they released Saquon Barkley and said, "Oh, we don't want to pay the money." And then they signed a guy to a huge deal at safety. And I'm like, what are these guys doing in this era of cap space? Here's the issue I have. Greenlaw, who's basically your nuts and bolts with Warner in Frisco, didn't want to they didn't sign him, but he goes and gets a 3-year, $35 million deal. Doesn't that sound like peanuts now in this thing?
Greenlaw come with injury issues, though? He's a good player. But aren't there some physical issues with him, though? Greenlaw? Isn't he the one that blew out the Achilles in the Super Bowl just going onto the field, which was just devastating injury for that game?
No way.
I'm about to walk off.
Breaking news, and this is for Smitty, and he's going to love this. The Indianapolis Colts have signed Daniel Jones.
Oh!
Anthony Richardson in the quarterback competition in Indy.
Wait, for how much? I love it. Daniel Jones.
Love it. Well, you know what this is?
Wait, there's no way he got $100 million, right?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
God bless America. Jeez.
Then you do fire Ballard, but there's no way he got $100 million, right, Smitty? Smitty, I love it. Shout out to the old whites, giving them a shot at this. Hey, compete with AR5 or trade them. Trade them, get something for it.
I think the football gods conspired to put AR5 and Danny Dimes together on the same team just for the Coach JB show. This quarterback battle is like between syphilis and gonorrhea. Wow.
Hey, well, they do wear helmet condoms now, Steve, so they're protected.
That's the worst move in NFL history.
Oh, stop.
History.
These are the two worst quarterbacks in the NFL on the same team. It reminds me of the Spider-Man meme. It's pointing at each other like this. It's a Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, Ballard.
Steve Kim, these are the two worst quarterbacks in the league. This Ballard came out weeks ago and said, we're going to get a veteran quarterback to compete with AR5. We don't know who it's going to be. This is your answer? Daniel Jones.
He is better, though. He is better, though. I can't wait, Steve, to see Smitty's. I can't wait to see Smitty's. Hey, Steve, I can't wait to see Smitty's. Like, he'll do a vertical clip today, like Whitlock's been doing lately, driving in the fucking car down fucking Nashville Boulevard and eating fucking fries.
You got it for me. You know you got it for me, right?
No, you got it for me. But anyway, I can't wait to see yours today. That you'll slightly edit. You do a lot better job. You're going to have this sad cry fucking theme that we got the two worst quarterbacks facing each other. That means AR5's gone. The AR5's gone, I'm sure.
Hey, Coach, the guy that used to play at Indiana that's famous for quote-unquote shutting down Jordan in his last college game, Dan Dockich, at Outkick, he's been calling out Ballard for at least 3 years about how bad he is.
I know.
As soon as I get off here, I'm going to go to his Twitter. Dan, Smitty, do you follow Dan Dockich of Outkick?
I know, but send me his page. I'll follow him now.
I mean, he's been calling this out for at least 3 years how bad Ballard is. Actually funny because he just lets it go.
You know what we're gonna do, Steve? When you get off, Steve, I got a rant. I got a JB's Daily rant I'm gonna go off on, and it's gonna be about someone that Whitlock's not gonna be happy about. I will tag Whitlock on this rant. I think I'm gonna let Smitty have the screen after me and have his own rant as well. He needs to have an ad-lib rant about the Colts. I think we have to have back-to-back rants. Are you on, Whitlock?
Yeah, we taped it yesterday because he has to do some stuff today. So it's an hour-long show. Me and Jason for the first 40 minutes. We got some other stuff going on. And then I'm going to go to the office, going to go read a few books, do a little research. And I think Keith Thurman fights today on YouTube. So I'm sure Shaun King's probably all over that. If there's one guy that still believes in Keith Thurman, it's our guy Shaun King.
He's washed.
Hey,
woo! Let Shaun King go. Let him know.
Good for Daniel Jones. Shout out to Danny Jones.
No, we're not shouting him out.
Hey, Steve. Fuck, I was gonna ask you something too. God damn it! It was something important. Damn it! I don't know. I forgot.
All that liquor.
Nah, I haven't got a liquor. But I was gonna ask you something about that. Damn it. Anyway, hopefully I come back to it.
Chris Ballard. Wow.
Golly.
I gotta get Daniel Jones on the show.
No, I'm not gonna be on that show. You and Steve hosting.
Hey, Smitty, if you're the Colts, don't you just say, and you don't admit it, you say internally, hey, let's just tank this. Let's try to get the number 1 pick. Let's see who the number 1 quarterback is next year. Let's see what we got, but let's just tank it.
That's obviously what they're doing.
The worst thing the Colts can do is try to win 6-7 games.
We won't. Trust me, Steve. We won't. Hey, good job, Chris. You succeeded in tanking. We're gonna win 3 games next year.
Yeah, we ought to call you Gervonta Ballard.
I know what I'm gonna ask you, Steve, before you leave. We got a new guy helping us out and getting some guests. We got a Major League Baseball legend. You and I grew up here in Southern California. We got to watch his father play for the Angels, but Brett Boone's gonna join us here after you. Any questions you have of him? You think Brett was a better Mariner or Red?
I remember him being really good with the Mariners. His dad was a great catcher. He was the type of guy that could hit.
Bob Boone.
Bob Boone. I mean, he knew how to run a game. Bob Boone's the type of guy, he could hit 220, but he'd be a valuable player because he ran a staff really well, knew how to call a game, was a clutch hitter. But he was an old school catcher, caught a lot of games, won a lot of games. But again, any player that hits at that average, but the manager says, I absolutely need him in the lineup, that is the essence of old school catching. Not a lot of catchers back then hit that well, but Bob Boone, great baseball family. I think the father made it and 2 brothers, and I think the grandfather
did
Boone.
too.
Right, that's baseball royalty.
They are the Mannings of the MLB.
Yes.
Hey, and Aaron, Yankees manager now.
Yankees manager. That's baseball royalty. To shout out to them. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you Thursday. Always fun.
I appreciate you. Later. I hate to do this. We got to put Smitty on the spot here. I'll do mine first. Let Smitty get his thoughts because
I'm pissed off.
I'm gonna ad-lib a rant too, but I don't want you to be down and out for your rant and then show and affect your energy on my rant. So like you should have your own rant, in my opinion, and then we could cut that into a short. Shout out to everybody out there. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. We got 1,500 people in here on YouTube. Appreciate all you guys. I got a daily rant though. Smitty can stay on if he wants. And Compton's in there.
Without a doubt, it's Compton in the house. Without a doubt, it's Compton in the house. Without a doubt.
Caitlyn Clark, you have been caught and nobody's talking about it. Shout out to Juju Watkins and USC that ESPN, no other major fucking network going to talk about, but I am. The old white is going to talk about this young sister who just passed up all y'all's favorite fucking human being, Caitlyn Clark. She just broke Caitlyn Clark's 2-year scoring record already. She hit a 3 in the championship game against UCLA. My Bruins won. Thank you. Finally beat SC this year out of 3. They won 1. Juju Watkins is better already than Caitlyn Clark. I'm tired of all the fucking blasphemy, as Stephen A. Smith would say, but won't say. Juju Watkins is already fucking better. Stop the cap, as Smitty would say. This fucking Caitlyn Clark hype has to end, and it has to end now. There's already a better player, simply a year removed, and we want to compare Caitlyn Clark to Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Miller and Cynthia Cooper and CP3, Candace Parker. Stop. Juju Watkins is already on their fucking way to being better than this girl just a year removed. Legends don't get replaced in simply 1 year, Smitty. It takes 10, 20, 30 years for records to be broken, not fucking 8 months. She's already got her shit snatched, and y'all call her a legend. Shout out to Juju Watkins, National Player of the Year. USC Trojans, they're going to go into the tournament as a 1 or 2 seed. Shout out to UCLA for winning, though. But Caitlyn Clark, you are hyped and got caught already. 8 months later, you've already been removed as your all-time leading scorer. Just 2 years later, over 2 years, let me be clear, a 2-year span, Juju Watkins is already better than you. Shout out Juju. Shout out LA. Shout out to that young sister killing it right now, right here in the hood. Shout out to you. That's my rant, and I'm sticking by it.
Oh, I'm a big Juju fan. She's a baller. I think she has a bigger bag than Caitlyn in terms of just everything she does.
Yeah,
exactly. From that point, like she's bigger, better athlete. I think long term, I wouldn't be shocked if she ends up being better than Caitlyn Clark. But to say right now today that she's better than Caitlyn Clark, stop it. Number one. Number two, you ain't got to throw salt on one person to boost up somebody else. Records are meant to be broken. Correct. You're right. They typically don't get broken just like that. But we are in a great space of women's basketball where we were blessed to have 2 legendary style players be in the league at the exact same time. Caitlyn Clark, this record that Juju just broke, this first of all, just the first 2-year record, let's be clear. But this ain't throwing no shame on nothing, Caitlyn Clark.
Let me be honest.
All-time leading men's and women. This is the overall record. Yeah. So that's not that. If Juju goes on to break that, kudos to her. That's amazing.
This ain't to show. This ain't to throw shade.
Caitlyn, homie. Caitlyn's the
biggest.
This
ain't to throw shade, Smitty. No, but this ain't to throw shade. This is the fact that y'all and everyone out there have been hyping this white girl for how long now?
Fucking baller.
But already been tapped out. Juju's already better. I wanted to ask you something.
Amazing too. They're both
for you and Whitlock and all these fucking Caitlyn Clark jockers. I want to ask you something.
You said why in a year? Came in WNBA.
I just want to ask a question. Why a year later, simply a year later, we're sitting here talking about this young girl already breaking her 2-year record, and I'm sitting here asking a question. What is Caitlyn Clark? Not what Juju does. Let me clarify here where I'm going with this. What does Caitlyn Clark do better than Juju? By the way, nothing. She does nothing. No, she doesn't.
She's a better three-point shooter. Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's older. She's older. You can say that. All right, shooter. All right.
But don't shrug it. Shooting is a big deal. You asked me a question, homie. That's what it is.
Juju's better in defense. Juju's better, just a dynamic, better scorer. Juju can score. Juju's a better scorer. I'm going to be real. Shooter, yeah. Score, no. Juju's better. Juju's a better defender. Juju's got, like you said, a bigger bag. She can go into any left hand, right hand, post moves. Juju's clearly better, more athletic. There's no debate.
Let me ask you this real quick. No, stop right there.
Everything is anointing. We're anointing people so quickly.
Everything you use this exact same the other day when we talk about Steph Curry and LeBron James. I said, what's one thing? Name one thing. What does Steph do better than LeBron? Shoot. Outside of that, there's nothing else. There's nothing.
Ball handler. What do you mean? Come on. Steph Curry's by far.
You disagree with me, but now you're using the same argument when it comes to fucking Juju and Caitlyn, homie. Be consistent, homie. I remember everything you say. I listen, homie. I listen. Shout out to Juju. I love Juju. I love Caitlyn. They're both hoopers. 2 things can be true, homie. Anyway, put me on.
You guys anointed a girl that already got her shit snatched. You anoint. That's my whole point of this conversation. We anoint people too fast, homie. Let Caitlyn Clark have fucking 10 years before we talking about she's the best ever. You guys anoint people so quickly.
Ever.
I want to be. Yeah. What do you mean?
We don't say she's the GOAT of everything. We're saying she might be the best college player. We said that. We didn't say she was the better basketball we've ever seen. We said college. Well, she's in the conversation. It's a fact. She still is.
All right. Well, anyway, we got a Smitty Says So segment we have to do right now that I'm demanding right now because I don't know what music.
Put Chris Ballard face over there where Mike Tyson's at.
I don't know what music we have. We need to come up with one for Smitty, but I want Smitty to have this because Dear baby Jesus, we come together today to have Smitty have his platform and let it be heard that he can go out and say that the Colts have signed Daniel Dimes. We call him Danny Dimes. Y'all say Daniel Jones, but you signed Daniel Jones after the Giants had let him go, after giving him a big, huge amount of money. And then he goes over to Minnesota, backs up Sam Darnold. Couldn't start there either. And now he will be probably the starter in Indianapolis. Dear baby Jesus, thank you, Lord, for allowing Indianapolis to sign my white brethren and give the Colts what they need. And now we're going to have Smitty take over. Amen.
As Steve Kim always says, my Colts are not a serious organization. And this was proof right here. Out of all the quarterbacks that were available on the market, this entire free agency, Sam Darnold was an option at first. Aaron Rodgers is still out there. Russell Wilson's still out there. We got Jameis Winston still out there. We got all these quarterback options available. And something went through Chris Ballard's head. Him and Irsay and Jim Irsay's in a fucking meeting like, I wonder who would be a good quarterback to get us over the top. Who could get us back to the promised land, get us back to the playoffs, and fight for the AFC South title and fight for the AFC Championship. I know. Daniel Jones. What the? Chris Ballard should have been fired years ago. But fire him today. Fire him today. Whoever, Jim Irsay, fire him today. There is no reason in hell. There's no proof. There's nothing out there that would tell us that Daniel Jones is the answer in Indianapolis. I always say this. I'm going to say it again. We are a historic franchise with one of the greatest Mount Rushmore quarterbacks of all time in Peyton Manning. We've been to multiple Super Bowls, went to multiple AFC championships with Andrew Luck. Ever since then, we have shit the bed. This is like my worst nightmares came true. Y'all know how I feel in the chat about Daniel Jones. The guy is horrible. He's horrible. He has shown no signs of being a winner, no signs of being a good quarterback. He got benched last year, traded from his team, didn't play a lick after that, and now he's going to be our franchise quarterback moving forward. This, to me, is you're giving up on this season, like Steve Kim said. You're tanking this season. We won 8 games last year. We'd be lucky to win 5. And that's a fact. This is a horrible decision. If I'm Michael Pittman Jr., I'm requesting a trade right now. If I'm Josh Downs, I want to leave the team. If I'm any wideout on the team right now, I'm trying to get out of Indianapolis ASAP Rocky. It's a horrible move, and I'm considering losing my fandom as a long-time Colts fan. I'm not going to do it. I'm trying not to be emotional, JB, but when you make dumbass decisions like this, I'm thinking about boycotting the season and maybe just becoming a bandwagon Rounds fan for the year, because this is stupid. This is crazy. For all the season ticket holders out there in Indianapolis that fought hard to save up to buy tickets, this is what you gonna gift them with? Daniel Jones? Get the camera off my face.
Max Hess, you don't know shit about me, homeboy. Stop. I've known fucking Juju's whole family, motherfucker. What are you talking about? See, some of you motherfuckers take my kindness for weakness like I don't know all sports. I know all sports, motherfucker. You can talk basketball with me anytime you want. I know the whole family since you went to fucking Windward High School, a fucking nobody high school here in L.A., homie, before she went to Sierra Canyon. So miss me with your fucking you think you know, motherfucker. You don't know shit, Max Hess. So fucking stop your bullshit. Juju's by far more skilled than fucking Caitlyn Clark. Miss me with your bullshit. Caitlyn Clark can't even fucking use her left hand. Motherfucker, how you gonna tell me she's more skilled? Miss me with your fucking bullshit. Juju's already better. Fucking are you talking about? Give her 2 more years? Shit. Miss me. Again, don't judge a book by its cover, motherfucker. This white boy knows who.
Caitlyn Clark is a bad motherfucker, though. I'm not trying to be funny. You didn't watch the game last year. You didn't watch none of the game. Caitlyn Clark is hooping on these WNBA players as a rookie. I can't wait to see this.
Juju's not.
I can't wait to see this. Juju's not. I'm not dissing Juju. I'm saying you're sleeping on Caitlyn right now. I don't think you understand.
Here's how Max Hess sounds dumb as fuck. This is why Max Hess sounds dumb as fuck right now.
What did he say? I didn't see what he said.
He said She has 2 assists a game. You smoking crack, bro. But this motherfucker will defend Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant wasn't no assist guy, was he? Oh, but guess what he said?
A game though, almost 6.
But Kobe said I could drop assists anytime I want. I have a triple-double the next day, and he did. So can Juju, homie. Don't get it twisted. She refuses. She don't need the pass. Why does Juju need to be an assist?
To Max Hess's
point, by the way, can Juju? Can Max
Juju? That is a fact.
Can Max Hess talk about the other guard at SC? How many assists she averages?
I don't know, but Caitlyn is a better playmaker than Juju.
Since I don't know no basketball. What does the other guard at SC average assist-wise? Why does Juju need to do that when she needs to score?
Caitlyn is a better shooter and a better playmaker than
Juju right now.
We're talking right now. She's a better playmaker. She's a better passer.
Look how much younger Juju is.
Better finding her teammate. That's a fact.
Look how much younger Juju is.
I love Juju. Like, this ain't no diss, y'all. We're just giving you the
Juju's better already. Juju's already a better overall player.
But he's more athletic. He's bigger. And she has a bigger bag. Juju's an overall better player. To be a better player than Caitlyn. She's not better than her right now, and I love Juju. Not right now.
Juju's already better player
for the league, bro.
Juju's already a better player.
Put that bottle on my face while I stop at your hand.
Juju's already a better player. Put that bottle on my face. We don't even say shooter. Better player. Juju's already better.
Not today. She's not.
There she is.
I think she will be though. I do think she will be because her bag is better. Seriously, her bag is better. She's
already better.
No, it's not. It's like saying, I'm trying to think of something. I can't even think of a comparison. You're taking somebody who's really, really good right now at the collegiate level versus somebody who's really good at the WNBA level.
You know who's not better?
like chill.
You know who's not better? The fucking broad that says don't sexualize me. Reese. She's fucking god-awful, and she said she's going to boycott and not play if she don't get the same amount of money as Wembanyama.
I didn't think that exact thing. I saw them talking about that she's hearing that the women who are a part of the whatever that group is called is considering sitting out.
To hit the backboard over and she caught it and tried to lay it up.
The collective bargaining agreement. If women who sit out for that, they're considering
nobody's watching you.
I'm not listening to
Gabby Reese. What's her name, Reese? Nobody's watching you, Gabby Reese. Whatever her name is, Caitlyn Reese, whatever the fuck her name. No, I don't even know your name. You think we're gonna pay you?
He does draw a crowd.
She don't draw no fucking crowd. Yeah, when Caitlyn Clark shows up.
You need an Angel Reese. That's what y'all don't understand, though. You need an Angel Reese in order for this to become a big thing. The reason why Caitlyn blew up, Caitlyn had been hooping forever. She had been hooping her whole college career. What blew her up is her and Angel Reese, their competitiveness, their beef. They're going at it. That's what blew it up. In sports, we like rivalries. We like beef. We like fights. That's what helped blow her up. That's what it is.
And by the way, she's not fine. She's trying to lay it back up. She took an actual power dribble like she was about to put it back in her. What? We're going to pay her? I got to take a piss, Smitty, because we got Brett Boone on the other side, Smitty. Don't fuck this interview up, Smitty.
See you on 3.
Saw last night because I don't watch this crazy shit no more. It's just unbelievable how when you get older you find you hear shit whether it's true or not, but you still have a bad taste in your mouth, Smitty. You know, even if it's not true, you know, damn, I don't know if it's true, so I can't fuck with your boy anymore. You know what I mean? Like even if and you find out it's not true, and you still kind of don't fuck with it, right? Because it's embedded. I stopped fucking with the Oscars, Holly weirdos. I stopped fucking with it a while ago. But what's happening now, Smitty? Cynthia Erivo, who arrived at the Oscars red carpet yesterday, who looked like this. is what's happening now. What?
What's wrong with her?
Look at her. What do you think? Do you know this is first? Do you know this is?
Did she do something last night? Did she say something crazy? Did she? Because I know Cynthia. Somebody I didn't watch a few movies of Cynthia and shows with her. I know a movie called Widows that was fire. I watched a couple.
Do you know who she is?
She's in the show Luther that I watched like back in 2020, like maybe 2023, 2022. I know she's been in music.
You know who she is?
I know, like, she's a long time like actress, been doing shit at a high level for a long time. So I'm just curious.
Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is?
Actress. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Like, I don't know her social security number, nothing like that. But
do you know who she is? And so you see what movie she's in, and then
a handful of stuff that I've seen. Yeah, I'm not her friend. I don't.
Yeah, you've watched them.
I've watched a couple things that she's been in. Widows, Luther is a TV show. With
if we were walking down the street,
Idris Elba is in there. It's a really good show. So yeah, I don't.
If me and you were walking down the street and we saw her,
what?
You wouldn't say nothing about her. Like, being a God-fearing man that you are, you're not tripping. You're like, oh, she's normal. She looks like she's not demonic looking or weird or nothing. And then I find out who she is, and then I'm like, hold on, that's the girl that's supposed to play Jesus Christ in a movie coming up.
Oh, for real?
But you don't find nothing wrong with that? Did you just say, oh, for real?
What is she doing?
Did you just say, oh, for real? Did you just say, oh, for real?
Yeah.
So see, that's the problem. See, what happens is you automatically call me a hater and all this shit when I come up with the. No, that's what I'm saying though. But then you don't do the actual deep dive into the research, and then you find out, damn, I'm a God-fearing man. This bitch is a demonic motherfucker. She playing Jesus Christ, my Jesus Christ, in a movie. But nothing's wrong with this.
Is she demonic?
Well, I mean, that's a demonic outfit.
Or are you just like saying? I'm just asking you for real. Like, is she? Do you have actual facts?
Is that a normal outfit? You see that outfit
of what she's done in the past to show that she's demonic, or you just look at the outfit?
I mean, have you seen?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm not trying to.
Well, no, I'm asking you that right there. What do you think?
No,
I mean, the bitch look like Witch of Eastwick. Fuck with me. I'm just.
It's funny you mentioned Witch.
I'm not hopping on to watch Jesus Christ play her.
No, it's funny that you mentioned Witch List, because I think something she's famous for is it's like a musical called Wicked, which is about like witches. Like, she's on there. I think that's why she's even here. I just why she's there on that stage, which could maybe be a connection as to why she dressed that way. I don't know. I don't know for a fact. I'm just reaching because we don't know the facts. So we're giving our opinions on this picture.
It's not the fact that
she was on Wicked, and Wicked, I believe, is why she's there in the first place, because she might win an award, or maybe she did win an award, is why she dressed like that. It's kind of ironic that you said that. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with my opinion, but I'm allowed to say that. Contrary to belief.
And then my opinion would be like, you sound crazy.
And you're allowed to say that.
Here's the issue. Like, so is this a Halloween costume event or the Oscars?
It's the Oscars, homie.
Oh, then I never knew an Oscar award winner to dress their part that the movie they played in. I never seen it. I've been watching Oscar for about 30 years. I never seen that. So maybe I guess she's the first one ever. I guess Smitty's point. So
yeah, I mean, I guess at these award show we never really see people like dressed like unique or wow at the Oscars and all these different award shows. I guess people never dress crazy. Like, yeah, this is a
no, like we've never seen that. Yes, sir. We're back in the building. Have you guys ever seen Sylvester Stallone pull up to the Oscars with boxing gloves on and a robe like he's about to fight? That motherfucker act like it was Halloween and shit. Have you ever seen motherfuckers show up like I'm fucking got a fucking black eye. Fucking. Is this a fucking. That broad right there, homie, Smitty defends all things, man. God bless his soul. God bless his soul. He's moving the car right now, taking a shit, I guess. We got Brett Boone joining us here in a few. Bailey, you get any response? Craig said he's good, so we should be good. Just waiting to see. I haven't watched an Oscar. I haven't watched any of that fucking demonic shit, and I don't know how long. But shit, I don't know. I might watch the whole Rocky series this weekend. This week. It's gonna be raining all week anyway, so I might watch the whole thing. For everyone that doesn't know, all you new viewers and listeners, Smitty is down and out right now, very down in his dumps, in the dumps. So make sure you guys send him a little super chat. Let's wake Smitty up because he needs it. He needs some money. He got to get a new car. He's still on his car from high school. It's a 1990 Nissan Altima. He needs to upgrade that because LA traffic's just wear and tear brakes. He always needs brakes. He needs a new alternator. He needs a new battery all the time. So shout out. And then the horrific news that Daniel Jones just signed to be the Colts quarterback. So Smitty is really, really down right now. But hopefully our next guest will get him back upbeat because Smitty covers baseball, Major League Baseball, and NHL hockey. That is what Smitty's job description and title has become on this show. He is now involved because Smitty, we haven't told everybody yet, but we're going to let everybody know. We've broken this up. Smitty's going to take baseball and hockey. I'm going to take tennis and golf. Bailey's going to take water polo and then we're going to put all that together so we have the realest show.
Yeah.
On
speaking of that, man, first of all, appreciate you, man. Appreciate the chat, man. Any super chat will help me just with my car situation and just to help me get out this deep depression. I mean, this Daniel Jones signing is probably the worst news of all year of everything that's happened in America. I think it's the worst news. But to your point, we got a show to do, man. I got to bring my energy up. And listen, I am a huge MLB guy, and there's been a lot of big time news happening across MLB. We're gonna dive into this in more detail, but just a few quick headlines for you guys. I don't know if you guys saw Dodgers manager Dave Roberts agreed to a huge contract extension. I think he's the richest in MLB history. My guy Mo Vaughn and missed using AGH in his career. And then Yankees, man, ace Garrett Cole, we'll talk about this too, getting a Tommy John surgery. These are all three big things that happened within the last few days, man, in the MLB world. It's really insane. And I can't wait to really dive into these topics more with our next guest, who I believe is getting mic'd up right now as we speak, JB. So it might be perfect time.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm glad he's willing to come on. He has his own show as well. But Brett Boone played 14 years, 5 teams, including the Mariners and Reds. 266 batting average, 1,775 hits, 252 home runs, 1,020 RBIs, and 927 runs scored. And he's a 4-time Gold Glove Award winner, 2 Silver Slugger Awards. Like, this is not anyone to take lightly out there. This guy is a legend in his own right. And I grew up watching his pops right here in Southern California. He's a Southern California native himself. And I got to ask him a question right out the gate. But please welcome my main man, Brett Boone, to the show. Clap it up. Brett, man, appreciate you, brother.
Do not take me lightly.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Love your show, man. I just started watching your show yourself, man. You got all this. I grew up a baseball guy, man. As I got older, I'm like, I'm football, baseball. But I grew up watching your pops as a Dodger fan. Back in our day when we were young, you and I are about the same age. We grew up in the Freeway Series that started in the preseason.
Right.
Dodgers, Angels, and I was like, all right, let's go watch these Angels play. And your pops was behind the right there at the home plate, man, and catching the rock. Your whole family lineage is unbelievable. It's like Smitty said, you're the Mannings of baseball.
Football, yeah.
Archie, Peyton, Eli.
Yeah, it's it's something that's cool. And when you're young and you're coming up and you're trying to find your way, I always thought as a kid it was a burden. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of hearing about my dad. I don't want to hear about my grandpa. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about me when I'm hitting here. And I remember as a young, especially when I first signed and was an A-ball in AA, it seemed like every city I'd go to, they just wanted to talk about my dad and the shoes I had to fill.
Yeah.
And at the time, I got pretty resentful. Like, I love my dad. I love my gramps, but I got to do this myself. Now, fast forward, go through my career and then post career. It's a part of my life, and I'm very proud now of what my family's been able to accomplish thus far and still accomplishing. I'm very proud of what Aaron's doing in New York.
Yeah.
He's on the hot seat constantly, but where else you want to be? I tell him that all the time. I said, why wouldn't you want to be on the hottest seat in America? And one day you win a World Series and you got the key to one of the biggest cities in the world for the rest of your life. So I'm really proud of what he's doing. But I've been blessed. And we've had a hell of a run, and we're still going, and hopefully my kids will carry on that legacy. I've got a son now that played in the minor leagues for a few years, but now he's working at the MLB offices in Manhattan, so maybe he'll carry it on in an executive type situation. But very cool, and like very, very blessed life I've been able to lead so far.
That's amazing.
No doubt. Thanks for coming on. I gotta ask you right out the gate though. SC alum.
Yeah.
You don't know fucking Shaun Salisbury, do you?
I don't.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't. SC.
He didn't play at the same. He's before you because you're
right. He's before. I think he's before. Yeah, he's before me.
It was close though. It might be like a year off maybe.
Let me think. Salisbury.
What year? Salisbury's way before us. He's way before you.
I signed in 1990.
Oh.
Yeah. You signed with you're there with like
you want to talk about SC alumni?
SC, USC, right? Yeah.
USC. Okay, my freshman year, Rodney Pete was the man quarterback. Then I lived through 2 years of Marinovich, and I think they won 2 Rose Bowls in my time there. Junior Seau was my grade.
Junior. You also was Matthews there with you?
No.
No, he's before you too, Clay's dad. And then you had and then after you came, I think Rob Johnson, the Johnsons.
Rob Johnson, Rob Johnson was after me. That might have been Aaron's generation because my brother.
Yeah, might have been Aaron.
His freshman year, I think, was 91. So he played 3 years, 91, 92, 93. So he could have been the Rob Johnson. I was just at an SC game the other day. Buddy of mine, Eric Musselman's there, the hoops coach. And I took Dad and we went up and sat. He was nice enough to sit us courtside. Actually, I told him, I said, I don't go to the game unless you got courtside. So he goes, I'll make sure you're courtside. But I got to go see him. I know SC hasn't had the best year, but it was nice getting up. I hadn't been to the campus in a while, and a lot of memories there. My daughter went to USC, so I've spent a lot of time up there.
Yeah, I think Shaun just had a birthday the other day. I think he's in his 60s now, so he's a little older than us. He's San Diego guy though. He grew up in San Diego as well. So he's a legend down there as well. Hooper and a football guy before he went to SC. So shout out to him. But man, I appreciate you joining us. We can't thank you enough. I got to ask you right out the gate, since you mentioned your brother Aaron being one of the biggest payrolls in baseball, along with the Dodgers. He lost a significant piece to their pitching staff yesterday. And Garrett Cole, what Tommy John surgery is required. Anything? I know you don't have to say what your brother said if you even talked to him, but how big of a loss is that at this stage in spring training going forward, knowing that the season's a long ways away and a long season? Is that a huge, insurmountable?
Well, what's nice about Aaron and myself, our relationship, we usually talk about once a week, but when things are happening on purpose, I don't talk to him. I really don't, because everybody's going to assume, oh, well, Brett's got the inside. I like kind of like reporting it straight and just facts and what I think. I look at Garrett Cole, obviously one of the best pitchers in baseball. He had this problem a year ago, and he missed the first couple months of the season. And when he came back, he kind of started off slow, but as the season built, he became the Garrett Cole we're used to and had a really good postseason. Obviously, the way it ended wasn't the best. But anytime you take a team's ace, absolutely, that's a blow. You know, I laugh because about a month ago, I think we all saw the clip of Marcus Stroman saying, I'm a starter, I'm a starter, I'm a starter.
Yeah,
Well, now you're the number 3 starter. You know, you went from the 6th starter to the 3 with Heel, who won the Rookie of the Year a year ago, being out. He's going to miss the first 3 months. That's a huge blow. So a lot of it now goes to the shoulders of the Max Fried, who came over and is a Cy Young, if healthy, is definitely a Cy Young candidate going into the season. You got Rendon behind him. He's got to really step up, but you can't replace a Cole. Bigger problems for me, I see, and I said this a year ago. You had Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, arguably the best 1-2 punch in baseball. Well, obviously, we know Soto went to the Mets.
Yeah.
But I've said since the beginning, Aaron Judge, MVP, Juan Soto, MVP caliber a year ago. If Aaron Judge wasn't on his team, he would have probably won the MVP. We know what they bring to the table. But I've always said Giancarlo Stanton in the middle of that lineup, just his mere presence makes that lineup click. And you saw what he did in the postseason. Stepped up. He was probably their best player offensively in the postseason. Well, him and Soto, you can make an argument.
Yeah.
But the Giancarlo Stanton, with the departure of Soto, really, I think they should be worried about not having his presence. Where are you going to pick that up from? You got a Goldschmidt, MVP 4 years ago, but he's 37 years old. Been a great player, had a tremendous career. What's he got left in the tank? I still think he's a formidable offensive player, but I think his MVP years are behind him. Cody Bellinger, as athletic as they get, he can play any position in the outfield, can play first base. That's not what I question. Are we getting the Cody Bellinger that won an MVP, comeback player of the year? Or are we getting the Cody Bellinger of a few years ago in LA where he really struggled back-to-back seasons? So right now I look at it like, wow, with these guys, 2 big guys being out for him, there's some guys that really have to step it up and be a force. I think Volpe's going to be 1 year more mature. I think he's going to be a better player and continue to get better. But it's going to be Jazz Chisholm. It's a time for him. He's got to really step up. So collectively, I think that offense, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're out looking for something now with the Giancarlo Stanton news. We still don't know what's going to happen with him. But with that looming, it just doesn't sound good. You know, it's, both my elbows, I'm going to miss opening day. Then, if I get surgery, I'm missing the season. I'm hearing the same stuff you guys are hearing. But if you're going to miss him, you might need another pitcher and you might need another hitter. That's up to Cashman. But everybody's sitting there and they're watching the Yankees kind of these scenarios play out. And everybody knows that too. So the price of poker might have just gone up. It's going to be interesting to see. I look at a guy like an Alcantara in Miami, who's coming back from Tommy John surgery, definitely a Cy Young caliber. That might be a trade target for them. It's been peddled all offseason, the San Diego Padres, who I don't know. It's got to be a financial thing. A Dylan Cease, a Michael King, who I think are 2 great frontline starting pitchers. They've kind of hinted like they might be available. They're not. They ended up not trading them. That might be a target of the Yankees too, but it's going to be interesting to see. A month ago, I was feeling really good about the Yankees in that American League East. After all this news, I think, like you guys, there's a lot of pessimism holding over Yankee camp right now.
Did the Orioles and Red Sox just kind of get back in this, favorite conversation in that division? I mean, Orioles were better than people thought last year. I don't know if they thought that they saw that rise, and now are they going to even be closer? And then Toronto's not, they're making moves. The Yankees' window's kind of closing with these injuries, no?
Well, I look at the Orioles, and I think how did they get better this offseason? They didn't. They're a good team. They're a young, talented team, a lot of potential there. But you let your best pitcher go in Corbin Burns, and one of the best pitchers in all of baseball the last 4 or 5 years. He's gone. You can't get better when he leaves. Yeah. So I don't see the Orioles being – but I really like what Boston did this offseason. I mean, they just quietly got Crochet, who to me is kind of a Tariq Skubal, Cy Young Award winner from the Detroit Tigers. He's in that vein to put him at the top of the rotation. Then you got a Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler came off Tommy John surgery a year ago, had a 5 ERA going into the postseason, but kind of found his stride and ended up winning a World Series. If they're getting the Walker Buehler of 3 years ago, right behind a Crochet. That's as formidable as a 1-2 punch. You got Bregman. The thing I worry about in that camp right now, and I've seen it before in my career, is you've got a Bregman and you've got the best player in Boston in Rafael Devers. And Devers is saying, I'm the third baseman. And Bregman's kind of playing it great. He got a big contract, $120 million. He's a great player. He's definitely a superior defender. It's not even an argument. That being said, Rafael Devers is the man in Boston, and I think Cora this is going to be Cora's biggest challenge, is to get these two guys. How do I get Devers to accept whatever role I do? Because I think in the end, Devers, whether he likes it or not, is going to be DH and maybe first base. And I think Bregman's going to be the third baseman. It makes sense. If Bregman's a third baseman, Boston is a better team. Bregman can go over to second base, do the job. I really like that acquisition. Bregman's skill set as an offensive player, I didn't like him going to a big ballpark. I didn't like him going to a park with right field being big. His bread and butter, his power is left field. That Astros ballpark was made for him. And all of a sudden he goes to Fenway, pull hitter, his power's to pull. I'll tell you what, that's the second best place he could have gone. I think Bregman's going to have a big year at Fenway Park.
Speaking of the champs, the Dodgers here in my backyard, Smitty's backyard, Dave Roberts re-signed. Because you just mentioned all the stuff the Yankees had and how much unbelievable talent they had, and then the Dodgers go in there and just show it's ridiculous how much talent they have. Dave Roberts signed a new deal. He was on the hot seat too, right? L.A., New York. Seemed like those two teams, you shit or get off the pot.
Both got extensions.
Yeah, both got extensions. Yeah, so worthy. I mean, they won the title, obviously, but every year you go back to the Houston series, and then they got beat, and all this stuff. People wanted them out of here, and bad pitching lineup. Decisions pulling guys out, and when they should have kept them in. All these decisions. You think that was the right move? Obviously, for him it is. I'm happy. I mean, he won it recently. It's all about what have you done for me lately in the business, right? They won it, and it probably favors again for probably the next few years to come, right?
Well, yeah, it's amazing. And I look back to what you were talking about when they had that goofy, we'll play these guys for 4 innings, then we'll put in a different set for 4 innings. I think you were really pushing the envelope on the analytical side of things, getting a little carried away with it. I think they've gotten rid of that and let David kind of do his thing. I think it was a good deal. When Craig Counsell signed that deal, it kind of upped the ante. And now you're coming off a World Series, the track record he's had, the time he's been at. Hey, why? If anybody's going to get it right now, it's going to be a Roberts. Right. So, yeah, I think Roberts is the guy to lead that team. From what I hear, the players really like him. They respond to him. They're coming off a World Series championship team. And all this talk about the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and, pick a team. The Phillies are really good. Atlanta's going to be good. There's a lot of teams out there that are very formidable. But let's be honest. If this Dodgers team stays healthy, they're pretty much unbeatable. It might be the best team on paper. And like I said, injuries, especially in 2025, it's not like 25 years ago where guys didn't get injured at the rate they do now. But with the injury rate being the way it is in Major League Baseball, if this Dodger team can remain healthy, I don't see anybody being really a competition for them. They're that good and they're that deep. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Clayton Kershaw, at the end of his career, one of the
18th year, right? 18th year for the Dodgers.
Right. One of the greatest pitchers of all time. Signed back with the Dodgers. Now, he's not the Clayton Kershaw when he was 28 years old, but he's still Clayton Kershaw. I remember facing a Greg Maddux at the end of his career. He was 40 years old, and I'm facing him. And everybody's kind of, he's 40. I said, listen, that's Greg Maddux, and I just faced him. Yeah, he's 40, but he's still better than 90% of the 30-year-olds. He's that great. I think Clayton Kershaw is in that breath. But I was looking at this roster. If healthy, when Kershaw comes back, he potentially could be their 8th starter. That's how strong they are now. I've heard recent news with Ohtani. They've held him back from throwing bullpens again. So we're gonna see how that plays out, whether he gets back on the mound in reasonable time. But looking up and down that roster, I was on a team in 2001 in Seattle. We won 116 games, and every year when somebody gets off to a hot start, that's a question they ask me. Hey, is your record in jeopardy? I laugh at people. I go, no one will ever see that in my lifetime. It was a magic carpet ride. It was lightning in a bottle. But after looking at that Dodger roster and what they did this offseason, if there's any time in history where that 116's in jeopardy, it might be this year.
Man,
shit, I know they're loaded. God dang, I know they're loaded. We have a friend of the program who comes on our show, and he's a pitcher now with the Cardinals. Keenan Middleton got hurt last year in the rotation. He got hurt, but he was talking about he played with Ohtani and with the Angels, and he was like, man, listen, the Dodgers are unbelievable. We went to open day. They played out here in L.A. Cardinals came out here last year for opening day, and he was like, listen, the Dodgers fucking – he was just joking like you. He's like, they may not lose a game. They're unbelievable. They're just so loaded. I mean, 19 pitchers. Does Ohtani have to pitch for this team to be that great? No, right?
No, but if Ohtani's pitching, they're even greater. You know what I'm saying? Scary. I mean, it's tough to argue with the year he had a year ago. If Aaron Judge didn't exist, Ohtani. Ohtani did win it. Different league.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got it.
With the exception of Aaron Judge, I think Ohtani's the best offensive player in baseball. And there's an argument: is it better for Ohtani just to hit? Are we just going to be happy with expecting this guy to hit 50 homers and hit 300? I think management-wise, maybe yes. Mm-hmm. But I think Ohtani. I think he enjoys doing what he's doing, breaking barriers. He's doing things that I never thought was possible. I thought one day a pitcher, you might be able to pitch and hit, but it would be more of a relief role where you'd come in, maybe a closer, to be in the rotation and to take the ball every fifth day and to hit. I never thought that was attainable at the highest level. Well, Ohtani's proven that wrong. I think he really likes that because he is the only one. So as much as you say, oh, no, we're just going to have you hit, I think Ohtani's going to have something to say about that. He wants to hit, steal bases, and then take the ball every fifth day and strike out 15 hitters. So I as long as his arm holds up, I think he's going to be, if it's up to him, he's pitching. So and from a baseball fan, I love to see things that have never been done before. You know, I watched that Super Bowl this year, and I'm not a huge football guy, but I look at a Patrick Mahomes. He gets a lot of hate out there, especially in the fake Twitter world. But nevertheless, people don't like Patrick Mahomes. And people love Patrick Mahomes on both sides of the ledger. Yeah. For me, a Tom Brady. You know, everybody would say, oh, we want to see Brady get his butt kicked. We want to see the Chiefs and Holmes get his butt kicked because they win all the time. Yeah, there's that side of the ledger. Now, I grew up in Jersey, so I wasn't pissed that the Eagles won. But at the same time, I love to see greatness. And the fact that nobody's ever gone back to back to back, I thought if Mahomes wins, I'm not going to be sad either because I just witnessed greatness. Tom Brady winning 7 Super Bowls. It's like, you get sick of rooting for Tom Brady. Well, I never necessarily rooted for him, but I appreciated each and every Super Bowl ring he won because I thought we're witnessing history every time it happens. So I like to see greatness. That's why I'd like to see Ohtani push the envelope. How great can he be? I don't know if he can exceed what he's done thus far. He's been unbelievable, but I always like to see what's next.
No, for sure, and I'm glad we're bringing up Ohtani. We're talking about him right now because you played with some great. You were great in your own right as well, and you've seen all these different legends throughout the years. Like, I guess how great when you look at some of the stars today. We mentioned Aaron Judge, you mentioned Ohtani. How do you think they hold up of the greats of old? With the Barry Bonds of the world, and just some of the of your era. Like when you compare and contrast, do you think they hold up? The rules are different today's game. There's changes. How do you look at it?
You play with one, Ichiro. You play with one of the great.
Caller,
yeah.
Who, by the way, he stole your MVP in 01. By the way, right?
Thank you. Yes, we've had this discussion. I've sent messages to Ichiro. Anytime you want to send me the trophy, I'll still accept it. I'm not mad at you. But you're right. I appreciate you saying that, so I didn't have to. And now I'll just come over the top and say it as well. Anyway, that being said, I think in sports, it's really tough to compare generations. It's really not fair. The athlete today is different than they were. The criteria, what they guys get paid for today is different than what I got paid for. When I was playing, I was told three things: average, home runs, RBIs. That's what got you paid. That's how I trained. My job was to drive in runs. Today, it's all about OPS. It's all about getting on base and hitting the ball over the wall. And if you hit 234, nobody cares. Well, I always thought if you hit 234, because I've done it before, you stink. You're a bad hitter. But these guys focus and they train because they know what pays is OPS, is walks, controlling the strike zone, hitting the ball over the wall. So I don't think it's really fair to compare eras. The athlete's definitely superior in today's day and age at every sport, at every level. And that's because of the training, the technology we have. I'm very envious of a lot of the techniques and what these athletes today have at their fingertips. I would have killed for that. But it's like when I was coming up and playing. You know, my grandpa was a huge part of my life. He played 47 to 59, and he had the Ted Williams, and, you know, the stories went on forever. Bob Feller was the greatest to ever live. And, you know, I'd have conversations with him once in a while, and he'd be like, you know, we'd be talking about Randy Johnson. He has got nothing on Bob Feller. I'd be like, Gramps, wait, ho. Randy's pretty good. He's pretty good. Shoot, I don't know. You know, that's how grandpas are, and I expect them to be that way. They're going to defend their generation. But I think if you're going to be fair, I think there's a lot of things about the game today I love. A lot of things I wish weren't the way they are. But it's baseball, and you got to move with the times. These guys today, Aaron Judge, Ohtani, Soto, the way they play the game, they're great. Now, the only exception I'll make is, you mentioned it, Barry Bonds. This man, I can't even explain him. There was Barry Bonds, and then there was the rest of us. Okay, and we're talking about the greats of greats, the Ken Griffey Jr.'s, who I played with as a kid. You know, I thought I was really good. Coming up through the minor leagues, I thought I was all that. I got to the big leagues. I watched Ken Griffey Jr. for a while, and we were the same age. And I thought I was good. This guy's from a different planet. So Ken Griffey Jr. is the best player I've ever played with. But as far as I've ever seen with my own eyes, it's not even close. And I think Bonds was just playing a different game. It's like Bonds was playing slow pitch softball, and the rest of us were playing Major League Baseball. That's how good he was. I don't think there's anybody ever played the game that hit like Barry Bonds hit. And because if you missed, I've never seen pitchers fear a hitter like I saw that. And if you got time, I'll give you a quick story, and it's fun.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, you got time.
This is around 2004. My grandpa passed away in 2004. We were very close through my whole career. I get the word Gramps is in the hospital. I have a day game in Seattle. And remember, Ray Boone, this is a proud man about his era and his generation, and you're going to have to fight him for him to admit anything. So I fly to San Diego, and they've got him, you know, hooked up to the machines, and he can't talk, but he can write on a chalkboard. And we're just talking, you know, I'm just kind of, this might be Gramps' last few days, and I'm kind of soaking this all in, and we're writing notes back and forth to each other. And he looks at me, and he points to the TV, and Jake Peavy was pitching for the Padres. He was a young player, and Gramps was a scout for 40 years after he retired. And he said, he wrote down on the chalkboard, he said, Brett, this Jake Peavy kid has got a chance to be a really good pitcher. And then he said, and by the way, yes, Barry Bonds is better than Ted Williams. Now, for Grandpa to say that, yeah, I started crying right away. You know why? Because I knew that sucker was dying right there. He was not going to live to have to talk to me about this, because he would never. Him and Ted Williams went to the same high school, Hoover High in San Diego. They played together briefly in Boston at the end of my grandpa's career. And I'm telling you, you talk to Grandpa, Ted Williams walked on water. And for him to admit that, it kind of just cemented all my thoughts of Barry being the best. And since then, my father has said the same thing. And my dad is very proud of his lineage too, and of his generation, and the Mike Schmitz and the Pete Roses that he played with, and all the greats from the 70s and the 80s. Dad even says too, he says, Bonds is the best I've ever seen. So I don't think there's a question. Take Bonds out of the equation, and these players today are great. But you add Bonds to anybody, at least that I've seen, and now maybe 20 years from now, I'll say, hey, this guy's like Barry was, but I haven't seen anything. And when I say not even close, not even close.
It's a shame he's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if did you play with Greg Vaughn?
No. I missed Greg on a couple different places. He played in Cincinnati. He played in San Diego. I played in San Diego, Cincinnati, just at different times. I know Vonnie pretty well. He's tight with Aaron. They were teammates.
Yeah.
But yeah, Greg, great player too.
Real quick. Go ahead, JB. I'm sorry.
I do a golfing deal with him and Boomer. And he lives in San Diego, got the burger spot. I do a golf deal up in Sacramento, so I got pretty close with Greg. Good dude, man. His daughters do the equestrian stuff, and
Bonnie's a good guy.
Good stuff. Hey, I real quick, Smith, I got a story too. It's crazy. The reason I got baseball lineage on my side because my grandfather, who was a Navy boxer and then played pro baseball. He's like in a couple history books in Major League Baseball. He was the only man ever to pitch a doubleheader. This is in 19. Now, remember, he played for the St. Louis Browns. So my grandfather was born in 1902, by the way.
Before they moved to Cleveland? Oh,
yes.
Not that.
And so, and he played with but anyway, him and Dizzy Dean were roommates.
Really?
Yeah, and I got pictures, and true story too. I got some other stuff that I have. He passed away in 95 at 93 years old, but he also struck out Babe Ruth 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, no shit. William Brown, Bill Brown. Yep.
When we talk about history, isn't it funny? Because none of us have seen Babe Ruth play, so we don't know.
Right.
He's an urban legend. You know, he's like back there with the dinosaurs. Yeah, were dinosaurs around? Probably. I never saw one.
I guess.
If you ever saw a dinosaur, you'd probably like he doesn't exist to me. It's in that different world. It's like, oh, Babe Ruth. But you know, you look at Babe Ruth, and that's what I think you get back to the generational thing. You can't compare a guy that played the athlete in 1950 to the guy that's playing in 2025. All you can do is look at their numbers. How did they're playing with the best of the best in the world at their particular occupation. And you look, what was their numbers compared to their peers? And that's how I think that's how you base base greatness on. They talk about it all the time. Babe Ruth, what did he do? Well, he hit more homers than other teams in a single season. That's greatness. How did you dominate your generation? I think Babe's, when I say Barry Bonds, yes, I've never seen Babe Ruth play. But as far as dominating a generation, Babe, that's why Babe's considered kind of apple pie Chevrolet and Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too. I got some pictures of my my grandfather, Babe Ruth, Dizzy Dean, it's crazy pictures. Satchel Paige later on, my grandfather, yes, Bob Gibson, when the Negro League was just getting big. It was crazy. There's a lot of history there. My grandfather, it was crazy, but he told me a similar story to your grandfather as he was, deteriorating. They had amputated one of his legs. He got diabetic, but he lived till 93 years old. So, I mean, he lived a good life. He was telling me, though, he's like, man, Babe Ruth wasn't shit. He'd hit a home run or strike out.
I think the numbers say he was. he was pretty good.
Exactly.
He was pretty good.
No doubt.
Yeah, for sure. I just had a fan. I know one of the fan questions who are watching. And again, thank you so much for joining us. One of the fans asked, "What was your favorite stadium that you played in, and why?"
Favorite stadium? Well, my Mariner years, and it was Safeco at the time. Now T-Mobile. Man, I loved. My numbers were pretty good there. But as far as road stadiums, I loved playing at Old Yankee Stadium. There's something special about it. Every time I went there, you kind of felt that you were in a special place. Fenway didn't really fit my eye for my style of hitter. I loved Wrigley Field, but if push comes to shove and I've got to pick one stadium and I need some hits, I'm going to Anaheim Stadium.
Really?
It is my favorite. I could be 0 for my last 30, and if we're going to play the Angels tomorrow, I've got to skip in my step because I know I'm going to get some hits.
Over Colorado.
Colorado's great. I mean, it's a hitter's paradise, especially back then. That was pre-Humidor. Big, spacious, and everybody talks about Colorado and they think, oh, yeah, the home runs. Well, no, if you get a ball up, yeah, it carries farther than normal. Try hitting a wedge there. But it's not that gives you the big advantage in Colorado. It's the spacious outfield. They had to build the fences so big, and it's so vast out there because the ball travels. Well, there's plenty of spot. Now everything falls in, and if you get one up, it's a home run. So it was kind of a pitcher's nightmare that the sinkers don't sink quite as much because of the heavy air, and the breaking balls don't spin quite as tough. Those breaks aren't as nasty. So yeah, it's kind of a hitter's paradise. But I still Anaheim. I'll take it over any. Coors was kind of like a video game. You go there and it was kind of weird. And if you didn't get 2 hits every game, you were kind of disappointed. And if the pitcher gave up less than 5, it was a Cy Young outing. So it was different, but no, just as far as atmosphere. And I don't know, I went to high school and college in Southern California, so it was kind of coming home to me. Something about Anaheim, and you talk to players through the years. Usually the places you like are where you get the most hits, but for some reason, Anaheim Stadium to me is just the place I love. I love the Vet too. Before they knocked it down, the Vet was fun to play on.
No doubt. Hey, Brett, to end the show, man, we can't thank you enough. We do a little segment called Hell Yeah, Hell No, man, and I got to ask you a few Hell Yeah, Hell No questions real quick to end the show with some fun ones, a fun take. Make sure you follow Brett on Twitter and Instagram. Hell yeah or hell no, Brett, you are the inventor of the bat flip. Hell yeah or hell no?
I'd love to say hell yeah, because a lot of people think it's me, but there were some guys. I look back to a Reggie Jackson.
Yeah,
Reggie Jackson. Watch the 3-homer game in the World Series.
Yeah,
I mean, he hits it and he just lets it go, and that's what I used to do. Mine wasn't a flip. Mine was a part of my swing where I'd let it go when I hit one good. So I'd love to claim that it was mine. Maybe I just kind of brought it into vogue.
Yeah.
But there were some guys doing it. I used to remember watching in my generation was Dante Bichette. He kind of he'd hit a home run and he'd kind of give you the fingers. Then more the iconic, not necessarily bat flips, but I could watch Junior hit a home run all day. Yeah. Bonds wasn't bad because you knew something was going to happen every time he stepped in the box. But I'd love to take sole claim of that, but I'd have to say hell no. That was something that came out of, I started doing it in Mark McLemore, and my teammates, they loved it. They're like, you got to have this bat flip. That bat flip you have is great. You got to do it all the time. And I was kind of, you think I should? And so it was kind of egged on by my teammates, and it ended up growing into something, and that ended up being kind of my thing.
Hey, hell yeah or hell no, Brett. Baseball is the hardest professional sport to play.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit biased, but not even close. Hell yeah. Being a hitter.
Okay.
Here's why.
There you go.
There's a lot of great athletes in baseball, right? They could go. I'm not saying they could dominate an NBA court, but I'll guarantee you there's some baseball players that could go on an NBA court and not completely embarrass themselves. I'll guarantee you Mike Trout when he was in his heyday at his best could run a route in the NFL. I'm not saying he's going to be a starting wide receiver, but I'll guarantee you he could not embarrass himself. Name me a football player or a basketball player that could get in the box against Ohtani and not embarrass himself.
Jameis Winston.
Oh,
Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Tyler Murray.
They're not going to embarrass themselves.
They got drafted.
You're right. They're not going to embarrass it. They got no chance. But you're right. They're not going to embarrass themselves. I just think per capita, a lot more baseball players can do. Baseball players are the best athletes in the world. It's not even close. They can do everything. They can go golfing.
Ooh.
I'm telling you.
No, I know you're not.
Okay,
right.
how about this? If you pick a Betts type player, a Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Take 20 of those from MLB. And put them on a basketball court. Just You're just a pickup game at the local gym. They're probably going to be pretty good. Now, take 50 NFL players and NBA players and put them in a batting cage.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty.
Nah, no doubt.
You might be on to something, JB. I know our football fans ain't gonna like that, but you might be on to something.
Brett, hell yeah, hell no. Brett Boone is the best Boone of them all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Look at the numbers.
That's it. The facts are the facts. There's no bias here. It just is what it is.
That being said, I'll tell you, as I get a little bit older, back then, I was a middle infielder. I didn't pay attention to catchers. I took catchers for granted. We had Dan Wilson on those Seattle Mariner teams. He did a great job. The farther I get away from baseball, I really have a bigger appreciation for catchers, though, and how big of an impact they can have on a game. Just calling a game, but the way how important they are to a pitching staff and getting their pitchers through each and every game. Sometimes not having their best stuff. I look at my dad, and really as time goes on, I really have an appreciation for on the defensive side of the ball how great of a catcher he was. Yeah. But that being said, back to the question, yes, it's hell yeah, it's not even close.
All right, hey, last one we get you out of here, man. We can't thank you enough. Hell yeah or hell nah. At the end of the day, Ohtani will be better than Barry Bonds.
Absolutely no chance. Hell no.
Wow.
Now, we can't compare, though, because Bonds didn't pitch. If you're talking about overall scope, Ohtani's he's two players.
A unicorn. He's a unicorn, yeah.
He's two players and two high-level all-star players.
Yeah.
Now, so in fairness to Barry, offensively, hell no. Not even close. And as great as he is, he's the second best player in baseball. The greatest people on earth, Ohtani to me is the second best offensive player in baseball. I'm going to give number one to Aaron Judge.
Okay, yep.
But as we sit here, I think he's the second best. But comparing him to Bonds, he's not even close.
Wow.
He's not even close.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I saw Bonds on Matt Barnes and them show that I go on frequently. And he was just talking about Michael Jordan, to your point. Like, Michael got in the cage and looked horrible. And we're talking about the GOAT of basketball all time, and he's into baseball, and he couldn't even see the ball. Like, the hardest thing to do in the world is to hit a baseball. We all have heard that story. Chad Ochocinco said, and keeping a woman happy is the other one. So I guess. But
I'll tell you this, though. Jordan, what people don't understand, Jordan, he was not a good baseball player, and he had no chance of ever being a big leaguer. But I've got to give Jordan some props. Dropping basketball in the middle of his career, being the greatest player on earth, and he didn't go to low A ball or A ball. He went to double A in the Southern League. I played in the Southern League. You get to double A, that's where people are kind of weeded out. Like this, when the competition, that's the closest thing to the big league, especially in that time. He drove in 50 runs. Now, he hit 190, was probably the worst hitter in the league, but he just dropped everything and said, I'm going to go play baseball at the double-A level. I have a little bit more of an appreciation for what driving in 50. And 50 runs back then. No, the monitor was, hey, you drive in 100 and you're great. But to drive in 50 at the double-A level, not being a pro baseball player and just quitting basketball and going there, I got to give Jordan props. That's impressive. There's a lot of professional people that have done this for a living, done it their whole life, never drove in 50 runs at the double-A level.
Come on now. There you go.
No doubt. Brett, man, we can't thank you enough. We're going to have you on again, man, as the baseball season gets going here. If you had to say, hypothetically, we put a hypothetical pistol at your head, Dodgers World Series champ. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell yeah. I hate to say that. I always try to play the other side of the coin, and here's why they could lose. That roster, oof. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, we shall see.
No doubt. Hey, Brett, I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot for taking some time. If you ever need me, come let me know. If you need somebody come on and give some hot takes, I'll come on your show.
You got it, guys. I appreciate you having
Thank
me
you,
on.
Yes, sir.
You got it,
Anytime.
brother.
Pleasure meeting you. Thanks.
Brett Boone, man, great legendary
man.
Brett Boone.
Amazing.
The whole family lineage, man. Go follow his show. He does a show every day, breaks down baseball, as you know, as he did, eloquently.
That's the
he's
goal.
right there with
His
you.
family is like the goal. Like that's what you want. Like you want your family to all just be great. Like everybody just great in this family. That's amazing.
No doubt. He's right underneath you as for baseball knowledge, huh?
Yeah, right.
You and him could go. You guys could go to the bar and just straight up have a battle, right?
Yeah, I just want to let him kind of just, he's the guest. Let's let him eat, let him do his thing. But yeah, we're right there, man. I agree with him with the way the Dodgers look in the roster, man. It's hard to really see anybody else beating them. I mean, the Boston Red Sox are dangerous. You still respect the Yankees, but with Garrett Cole having that injury and him having to get Tommy John, which we know was sitting him out the entirety of the season, that's a tough blow to try to recover from. So I agree a lot of what he said. And of course, Barry Bonds is the GOAT. And I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. He missed his 10-year window. So unless they change some regulation, legislation, he's not gonna get in, which is a travesty. So man, listen, we're on the same page, man. Brett can come on whenever he wants to. I can talk baseball all day long. And it's been a hell of a show, Jason.
Anyway, shout out, man. Your boy Pat McAfee's going off about Daniel Jones right now, so maybe you go turn. Yeah, what?
Tell Pat get me on there real 15 minutes. I'm pissed off. Text Pat, tell him I want to go for 15 minutes talk about this shit. I'm gonna cuss and everything. 15 minutes. I'm pissed off.
Hey, shout out to Max Hess for coming on the show and dropping nothing but dumb takes all day. Mahomes is not even in the top 5 quarterback discussion. But anyway, what do we know? Man, shout out to everybody, man, in the chat. Pound that like, subscribe. These are going to be the shows going forward for the most part. Loaded guest lineups every single day. So shout out to everybody involved. And appreciate you guys, man. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Work Boot Wednesday. Your guy, Sheldon Day,
9-year NFL veteran defensive tackle, gonna be on here talking free agency, and he said he's ready. He's ready for everything. He's ready to talk about whatever we want to talk about. So let's do it.
Sheldon Day. We got Shaun King, and we may have a couple other special guests.
Else on here. I got so many people on this phone right here. I might text somebody else and just see what happens. So stay tuned.
Me too. Me too.
I got more context than you, but yeah.
No, you don't. Anyway, hopefully Smitty will bring on, Sheldon Day. Finally, Smitty's got a guest to join the show, so appreciate it. Pound that like, man. Subscribe, become a member. Head on over to BetUS today. Daniel Dimes, welcome to Indianapolis. We'll see you tomorrow on The Realest Show on Planet Earth. Peace.